Please.
And we're in. Oh, look, look at this intro. What an intro. How to intro. Hello, welcome to Intro. I'm Intro, and I'm joined by Intro, and our special guest, Intro. Pointed the wrong way. Did it again.
Mr. Intro to you.
Down, there's Duncan.
Oh.
There's Mike. Hello, Mike. How are you?
Good evening, Duncan. Good evening, Richard. Good evening, world.
Look at that. That's the
Good evening. Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for having me back.
It's good to have you back. We're happy to be back after last week's blip. You were going to join us last week, but you're this week with us to watch Face/Off, as to give it its full and correct title.
I thought it was Bake Off. Damn it! I've researched Bake Off.
Bake/Off. John Woo's Bake/Off.
Face /
/ http://face/off to give it its full. That's what.
To redeem your free copy of John Travolta, go to face / off.
Your free copy. You download it when he comes out of your USB port as a kind of fluid.
What? It's so weird.
Well, there you go. That's established the context for this evening. Mike, I'm just going to ping you the stream link, lest you may.
Why, thank you.
If I send it to you on WhatsApp, does that work?
Yes.
I'll put it in that group of ours. Put it in that group of ours. So you can all say hello to Mike, everyone. Individually in your own way. You can say, hello, Michael. I love you. You could say, if you're a kind of
If you were Tom Jones.
bootleg version of Under Milk Woods.
If you're Doolittle.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Authentic Welsh accent.
There we are. That's kind of weird. Hang on.
Oh, we're getting a... Yeah, could you turn your volume down? Yeah, he's on it. He's on it. He's on fucking over
Turned it down. I've had minutes of training.
Minutes. I do have this bit of blue tack on top of my monitor that I reach up I impulsively play with. And I might just leave it there. Makes it look like I'm adjusting a dial to give better internet or, faster lighting.
Good internet.
Be sure to check out my OnlyFans for footage of me playing with this blue tack, which is not a euphemism for my bumhole or willy.
Which is coincidental because they are blue and tacky.
Very tacky, Mike. You don't get directed by Richard Jackson without finding that out, do you, Mike?
It's like a Smurfs road accident down there.
It's true. It is true. It's like a kind of raspberry autopsy.
Allow me to read some paid pal.
Oh God, already we're
comments.
Straight
Yes.
Straight in.
Michael Small sends us £6.90 and says, "Hey guys, robot boys, sending much love this week in the form of 10 of my finest US dollary dues. Annalise was busy cooking us delicious fried rice tonight, so I'm going to do the paid pals. Enjoying your recent reviews of Black Widow and Tomorrow War very much. I'm excited to see your new plans for the channel." He says, "For the channel, we've gone McCallum. So I don't know why." Andrew McCappitz, or indeed Andrew Cappitz, sends us £9.21. So thank you very much, Andrew, with no note. But thank you indeed.
Very good. Very good.
I'm getting some beard love here, and thank you.
It is looking very spectacular today. Have you groomed or conditioned? Do you use product?
I, of course, condition and sometimes oil my beard. That is a euphemism, by the way. I'm also, unfortunately, I'm gonna.
It's a euphemism without a home, I think.
Yes.
Oh, I love that, a homeless euphemism. That's really nice. I mean, it's not. It highlights a dreadful society problem. But
are you saying that I look like someone who sleeps on the streets?
A very well groomed one, but yeah, basically we're saying that.
I do have
with a prescription.
Sure. I've got a douchey middle-aged man ponytail though, and I'm sorry about that.
Right.
But
I mean, I wouldn't say you don't look like a man who sleeps in the streets. You just look like a man who shouts at traffic from a roundabout. It's not the same.
Yes, I do. And don't keep coming to my roundabout. That's my roundabout. Get your own roundabout.
Whereas I sort of look like a depressed scrotum that joined the National Front. That's my look. That's how they get them. They go after sad men. That's who gets recruited into those organisations. Or
the
scrota.
far-right organisations are available.
You can look them up online. A lot of people do. Quite a bit.
You keep sending me those links. I don't know why.
Look, man, I'm going down the whatever pill rabbit hole, or I don't know. I can't keep up with the terminology. I absolutely cannot. Right, shall we? As tradition dictates that Duncan's done the paid pals, so let's look at who's in the chat, shall we? Let's see all of our Val Verde friends. Let's see who we got. I can see Andrew K, Annalise, Benny Legend, Brian Shields, Callum Chung, Carl Goddard. Oh, Carl got in before the lock. Dan Lyles, Dan Hawkins, Eric Grandin, Fremantle85, Amston John Doe, Ken King, Louis 1701, Mike Garside, Music Related Candy, Ricky Spanish, Rob Meyer, Sam Duxbury, Simon Pope, Steve Allen, The Vard on the Wincoming Exchange, TM2YC, Peter Danielson just popped in. Like that, it was very quick. And I think that's the current list. Boys and girls, welcome. Welcome to our chat. We're going to talk about Face/Off. The sequel to Face Off. I didn't see this when it came out, and then I watched it and I didn't like it. It's kind of grown on me over the years. I like other John Woo things more. Other John Woo is available. This has grown on me over the years, though. I think I kind of disliked it quite strongly when it came out, but it's grown on me over the years. Is what I'm saying. That's how I feel about Face/Off. Which, by the way, everybody. Black Hole Super Sloth has just asked at the very last minute what we're streaming on. You can pay for it on YouTube. It's on YouTube. I can't tell you where because we'll get in trouble, but just search it. It's on YouTube. I paid for it like a mug. I pressed go and poor Mike just by coincidence went, oh, it's on YouTube. Oh, fuck. But never mind. So there, you can watch it on YouTube. It's a shitty copy, but who cares? Who cares? Yes. So tell me what's going on in your weeks, gentlemen.
Oh, well, not much. I've been spending a little bit of time at home, doing a bit of work from here. It's all very exciting stuff. I've just seen a little message that Mark Price is joining us as well.
Ah.
So I don't know if he's on the chat, but he is on the WhatsApp. So saying hello to us too. But yeah, I've had a good week and enjoying the nice weather.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a mixed bag, isn't it?
All those people who said it was too hot last week, this is on you.
This is your fault. I'm roasting my jaffers off now, though, Mike. It suddenly got very hot. It was quite cold yesterday. I enjoyed that, but now I'm melting again, and my fan broke before the stream started.
I mean, what were you doing to the fan?
You don't want to know.
You should
blue tacking.
There's a lot of blood on the floor. A lot.
When you mentioned OnlyFans, was that your OnlyFans?
That was my only fan, yeah. In that it's the only device I have to conduce kind of cool air at me, and it's the only being that pays for my OnlyFans. Yeah. I'm just gonna flog that one to death. I don't know where I go with it.
That's how you broke the fan.
It's high, it's high energy stream. Do you see what I'm doing? Look at me. So yeah, we've had two on the private watch parties. We've had two John Woo films win. So we've done A Better Tomorrow, the kind of proto John Woo film, and Hard Boiled, which is my personal fave. There go the Mad Max motorcycle cunts that come past my house every fucking week. Just because of the road.
Oh my God, I thought that was me.
I have to say, I mean, I was rather disappointed in our Patreons because the choices for this, well, for last week, obviously this week now, were this, which was kind of just, I threw in there because I was picking things out of the suggestions they'd made for the previous week, was this, The French Connection or Big Trouble in Little China, which I thought was a shoo-in, and I thought because we were getting Mike back, that would be really up his alley, and I figured, well, you know, they're probably going to go for that. It's not my favourite film in the world, but I'd be up for it. But no, Face Off.
I absolutely would have thought Big Trouble.
Yeah.
People are surprised.
I mean, I was surprised, and I am a little disappointed. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what Mark Price did when you did Deep Rising and just talk about a different film.
Right. What did Mark talk about when you did Deep Rising?
Mostly Titanic, I think.
Right.
Yes, it was. There was a lot of Titanic chat. Yes.
Right.
You know,
Titanic chat.
We could. I mean,
penis.
Penis.
Sure.
Blue tack. we could do Titanic, or we could never ever do Titanic. That's my view. Those are your options. That's with regards to Titanic.
I don't mind. I mean, the sort of the Titanic disaster simulator aspect of that film is quite spectacular. But the kind of
it's a very amazingly made film. As Adam and Joe put it, quickly, come quickly, the special effects are starting, which is a great summation of because the fucking end of it is like, I watched a thing on a sidebar. There's someone has made a kind of I think there's just a video of it on YouTube, but someone made a 3D simulation, and it's a fixed camera and it's a real time sinking of the Titanic.
There's loads of those. Yeah.
It's harrowing because it's just like nothing. It's from a distance, and it takes like 2 hours,
2.5 hours or something. Yeah.
It's a really horribly upsetting thing to watch. It's just so bleak and slow, and just like, oh, what a horrible reality that was.
I learned an interesting thing the other day, that there was a couple of ships, a ship went out to recover bodies from the sea after the Titanic sank, to return them to the countries of origin, mostly for the first class passengers. And it was the largest embalming ship of its time.
Oh my God. Oh
yeah.
Jesus.
And there's some really interesting story behind it. Lots and lots of they had a whole bunch of men who were funeral directors, embalmers on there to take care of the men, and then there was one woman to take care of the women and children.
Well, most of the first class women and children survived, didn't they? They were the largest numbers of survivors. But and a lot of people went down. Like, I think the people who went down with it, because when they surveyed the wreckage site and stuff, there's loads of there's some adult shoes next to some children's shoes and stuff. Yeah. And it's awful because it's basically all the bodies are gone, of course. But
there was one child body. This is exciting. This is lovely stuff, isn't it? The child body was found. They didn't really know. They couldn't identify because they've been in the water for a long time. But they had these shoes, and they took the shoes back and actually put up in the paper the description of these shoes. And the family came forward, so they actually found it. So it's not a happy ending by any stretch of the imagination, but at least they got some closure. It's good. Mark Price is really enjoying this talk, by the way, because. Not this talk, Titanic talk, I think.
Oh, because I lived in Southampton for a couple of years, and my house was once lived in by one of the engineering in the below deck boat sense that died aboard the Titanic. Yeah. So I mean, Southampton, I imagine there would be rather a lot of homes like that. But I was looking up because we lived in this area called the Polygon, and it's all old terraces, and for whatever reason, I was curiously looking up the house and stuff. And one of the engineers that died there lived in my house. Because there's all Titanic stuff in Southampton, because you've got the Titanic Museum, the Titanic Memorial, and stuff, obviously. So that was a weird thing to find out. Not as the more fun thing was when we went in the loft and we found a Viz annual, a single roller skate, and a pile of decaying pornography. That was the different, and the era of handwritten university essays, which is a horrifying, not handwritten, typed university essays. There's a bunch of them up there with the analog porn, and it was just like, oh, that's hellish. That's nightmarish. You get one mistake on a page and you have to rewrite the whole page. That sounds fucking dreadful.
Same with the analog porn, frankly.
Yes, that's why it was so decayed.
Yeah.
Yes. Ew. That is far from the worst thing ever said on this channel.
Yes,
by quite some by quite some margin. So Faced Off, we should start in a couple of minutes because it's nearly 1:15, and we tend to say start at 1:15 because people say we don't know when the film starts. So I put in the preamble the film starts 30 minutes into the stream. Do it at 1:15.
My dad just sent us £10, by the way.
Oh, thank you, Philip, thank you so much for it.
And by the way, Dad, I still haven't got your text message, but never mind. I can't bother to explain it. It doesn't matter.
Duncan, I sense a little bit of tiredness in you today. I feel the same.
Sorry.
Well, I feel the same. If that's any use to you. Been a long day. Don't worry. Me and Mike are here to entertain you with Face/Off. Something like that.
And I can't wait for the sequel, Face On.
Yes. Yes. Well, there is a sequel coming, though. Did you hear about that? So, they're doing another one, and it's going to be called Face Off. But
It's It's where John Travolta and Nicolas Cage swap
They have
bums.
to swap bums because
Bum off.
only one of them can sit in a really powerful chair that controls the world. And Nicholas, when you sit in John Travolta's special FBI chair, you can see all the FBI records. And Castor Troy needs to see that, so they do a bum off. And then, of course, he destroys the bum records, and they have to. So, yeah.
See, now I thought one of them had access to a special vault that had sphincter recognition technology.
No, it's John Travolta's plane requires you to sit on a glass table.
Well, I mean, that's good, but I mean, that's not going to work entirely because you're going to recognise the balls too.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah. Well,
I know I would.
Package deal.
the working title was John Travolta's Pink Pancake, and then they realised this would make a great face-off sequel called Bum Off.
Bum off. Undercarriage.
And of course, they phoned Nicolas Cage's agent, and he said, "I'm in."
Yes.
Whatever. Yeah.
The phone was still ringing whilst he was saying it.
He has an Oscar.
It's true. That's why I love him, though. That's why I love him, because he's just.
Hey, I'm in a Nicolas Cage film.
You are indeed, yeah.
Are you?
Indeed. Bum Off. He plays the table in Bum Off.
I played the left.
He's in a green suit covered in ping pong balls to play the left bum.
The left bum. My name is Gluteus Maximus. Commanders of the armies of the
Bam.
left. I'm just here for the crack.
Hey.
Thank you.
I can't remember the name of the place. Right, there's a place near here which is like a stately home, and they do a special Tudor day. And our school used to do a thing where you had to do Kentwell Hall. Yeah, did you do the same thing?
My school, because we're more better at, used to do we used to go and be the school that was reenacting it.
See, the private school sponsors did that, and the rest of us had to go and
private
be the
school.
Oh, but you said
school
it was more
primary.
better. Oh, you led me down a path. You led me down a path. Artist. Well, anyway, at Kentwell Hall, I remember the lady sang. We had to, the lady did sing along because we were like 10, I suppose. And we had to dress as Tudors, and you go along and do Tudor. And Duncan's school, I guess you were the reenactors, and we were the visitors. And when she sang the song, there's a bit when she said, "Put your left arse down, put your right arse down," and there was a bit in the song where you did it, and obviously you're saying arse to a bunch of 10-year-olds, and then also introduce them to the concept that you have more than one arse, a left and a right arse, which you can operate independently for the purposes of musical entertainment.
Welcome to the multi-arse.
The multi-arse of madness.
Yes.
The new Doctor Strange film. Right, so shall we crack on?
Let's press it.
Let's
crack on.
In it for the crack on. Okay, so everyone, get your copy of Face Off Full Movie. Which is which I cannot tell you where on the internet is. Duncan, did you want to do a count in?
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna count it.
Yes.
5. Okay. I don't know why I'm turning into Snake from The Simpsons. But
All right, a watch party.
All right.
Use a pen, Sideshow Duncan.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lloyd Grossman.
Fantastic.
Tomato and basil sauce.
And so I did. Do you remember that the advert he did? He made like he was. His wife was trying to make pasta sauce, and he just keeps leaning over, going like, "Not so much salt, more basil." And she went, "You know what, Lloyd? You do it." So he goes, and so I did. It's just like the most ridiculous.
I like this sort of
Lloyd
weird.
Grossman's Man, Fat, and Chive.
I like someone pitched that as kind of like, yeah, basically this shows your awkward, discordant marriage. Fuck you, Lloyd. You fucking do it. And so I did.
Smug prick. It's like maybe pay more attention to your wife instead of being all smug.
Now, in theory, if someone once worked in a hotel and Lloyd Grossman and his wife stayed there, they might report that maybe there was some kind of marital discord and one person was nicer than the other. They might, in theory. I don't know who would say such a thing. But I tell you what I do remember. I mean, that person would remember. That's getting a phone call and picking it up and having someone on the other end going, "Hello, my Wi-Fi isn't working," and going like, "Well, I know who that fucking is." And yeah, so there you go. His wife was a bitch. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I think I've got that. Yeah.
Fuck it.
Subtext.
No one cares. No one watches this. So, my opinions are my own. I'm sorry. Don't sue me. Lloyd Grossman's possibly ex-wife. Do it yourself, you lazy bitch. Or whatever.
So in this bit, Freddie Mercury shoots a child. Is that?
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I want to break free. I like how that. See, this is the film with the face waterfalls, isn't it? It's the
Which, if you saw someone there, someone's face.
Travolta making that noise is it also has a kind of strange morality of like, oh, your son's dead. Don't worry, we'll get you another one. And it's just like, oh, another kind of button-headed boy. Yeah, it's fine. He looks the same. Whatever.
That's right. He just essentially just takes one from someone else. It's like they don't.
It's Castor Troy's son, I'm pretty sure. With
that's right. Yeah.
It's just basically the same.
But again, the metaphor is so sort of paper thin in that role reversal. It's like, okay, so he ends up taking his son. And it's like, but you're not really saying much about like duality or like this. If this was it's sort of a literal reimagining of a Michael Mann film, in that they're like they're two sides of the same coin. We get it, Michael Mann. For fuck's sake, the good guys are the bad. Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? Doesn't talk like that, but you know what I mean. And in this, it's kind of like you get those scenes like where they're both standing either side of mirrors and they point guns at the mirror because the other one's behind it, and so they're looking at their enemy that happens to be them, and it's like, right, but it's still not subtext because we're still not saying anything with that, are we?
Well, I think something I've heard about this. I believe. We watched some kind of. We had this in A-level film, and that was around the time it hadn't been out very long, and I was like, I don't like this, and even the teacher was just like, why? Because like it's usually like there are no wrong answers, but Tanya was just like, why don't you? And it's just like, all right, I thought we were allowed to. Okay, apparently she really liked it.
Did she briefly turn into Jules Gollum? Like,
no. She was showing off in front of her band. I mean,
it's easy. They do goad you along, those bands. They're terrible.
He's overtired. He was overtired.
Did she spin round on her stool and start playing the grand piano that was suspiciously in your classroom for some reason?
How was I supposed to get on with analysing Face Off when
you're playing honky tonk
next to the House Martins? What am I supposed to? Yeah, I think like John Woo, it would seem this is only his second kind of English language film. He didn't really still speak English particularly robustly, and it was all done through a translator and stuff. And I wonder if there's something to that. I really fucking like Hard Target. We did Hard Target on this, which weirdly is one of our most successful streams ever. It has like 11,000 views because I think someone's accidentally put it on a playlist somewhere. But yeah, Hard Target I really like. Hard Target really feels like a fucking John Woo movie. Not that this doesn't, but I think it's a little bit. It on one level seems to want to be taken seriously, and it's like it's called Face Off because what I always forget, and because I watched this fairly recently, what I always forget is that halfway through they go to space prison, and it's like, oh yeah, Jesus Christ, like
God, yeah,
I know like it's face transplantation is a real thing now. It's nothing like this, and it is from the get-go a sci-fi premise, right? Real life face transplants are not like this. You don't look like the person and go and fuck their wife. That's not how it works. It's to help rehabilitate people who've had facial injuries. So it's a sci-fi
someone who got
premise.
mauled by a dog had it, didn't they, or something? That was.
This lady was mauled by a chimp. The lady was mauled by a dog.
Chimp.
Oh, the chimp lady. Oh God.
I think she died now. The chimp lady.
They got phone audio of that, haven't they?
Oh God. Chimps are vicious fuckers, man. Like I wouldn't want to be anywhere near a chimp. I don't care how many pinstripe suits you put. I don't care if they move pianos and have witty banter over cups of tea in brown coats. I don't want to go anywhere.
I really like how you've really got your finger on the pulse there, referencing something that's over 25 years.
Yeah, it's those tea adverts that were barely on when I was a child. Yeah,
showing off their teeth because they are terrified.
Chimps like to rip people's genitals off. Did you know that? It's a territorial thing. In the wild, they tear off each other's genitals when they enter each other's territory to stop having their gene pool polluted, and they do it to human handlers. They tear people's genitals off. It's horrifying. They are horrifying creatures.
Somebody said he wanted a form of dominance. He went, fucking right it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I've got your balls.
Bleeding to death with no dick. It's like, yeah, it's quite dominant, isn't it? Fucking hell. Michael Jackson's teaching one how to play the fucking saxophone. Put it away, you nutcase. What the fuck are you doing? I mean, I have sympathy for them. They're wild animals. Don't fucking, have some Russian gangster fill his house with them and teach them how to break dance, whatever. I know they're part of the exotic pets kind of, scam.
Fucking Justin Bieber had one, didn't he? And he got to Germany and they took it off him. They were like, "You're not allowed that."
That's what I like about it. The Germans are very good at just going like, no. No, absolutely not.
It's about border control, can't you? Like, do you have anything to declare? Oh no!
Yeah, I got a monkey, eh? Yeah, was ist das? Here, the monkey is in the, you, this is not allowed. You can't bring that in here. Eh? Put it back. What is that? Is that a fucking ape? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
They put a monkey in there.
They put a monkey in there. It's not this is to rip your genitals off, you little squirt. You fucking idiot.
So just to interject, Annalise Mercer says, can anyone clarify for me what is supposed to be a good film? The answer, of course, is Freddy versus Jason. Sorry, back to monkey talk. Well, actually, this is my Frankenstein was the creator moment in that monkeys are monkeys. Monkeys have tails. Chimpanzees are great apes. Or the human cousin.
Very good. Very
yeah.
Good. Primates.
Sorry, primates. Great. They're just great apes. You're great. You're great apes. Grapes.
They're great, but I don't like it when they rip my dick off.
And I have to get it put back on
my face and my dick.
If I had a pound and also my penis reattached every time.
But I will, I will keep going back to the chimpanzee enclosure. I just can't. I cannot help myself.
Can't stay away.
You bred chimps. They should all be destroyed.
There you go. Look, this is it. Nobody's talking.
How fast are they? Cheetah speed? You get it? That's a Tarzan reference for you, sir.
Again, it's the Tarzan and the PG tips among apes. It's keeping it relevant. We keep it relevant here. I think it's really important that we do that.
It's good. It's good. Yes, yeah. We're a wide demographic right here.
A broad church.
A broad church. Yeah. Fucking hell. Great. Just great apes. Sorry. Yes.
Sorry. No. I was going to say. With Face Off. With Face Off the film.
Yes.
It wasn't going to be set in the present day. It was supposed to be futuristic, but John Woo didn't want that.
Oh,
he felt
I
that
see.
He felt that would take over from the characters.
Right.
So
yeah, we'll keep the prison booties. That's fine.
Yeah.
But
we want realistic characters who jump sideways, shooting two guns at the same time,
and doves fly out of their arseholes as they do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, look, if you've got that on your CV, you better be able to do it, man. That's all I'm saying.
This is the bit when he says, "I'll let you suck my tongue," and then he extrudes his very long Nicolas Cage.
Which would be grateful.
And of course, in Bum Off, it opens with someone doing a bum waterfall. No, I wasn't even going to the
turning his son around.
On his new son from the end of this film on another American,
who's now 23.
Yeah. And then they replace him, but with just a 23-year-old man-sized bum.
Yeah.
With arms and legs sticking out like a Poddington pea.
Yeah.
He can only speak in a series of garbled farts.
What's that? And his name is Arson. What's that, Arson?
Arsene Wells, Arsene Wenger.
Arson, where are you? There he is.
He's in pain. Don't listen to him. It's not the real Arsene.
We're literally just people doing fart noises at each
That's
other.
this channel. That's this
so
channel. That's all...
There you go.
Acting like fucking chimpanzees, ironically.
Well,
I'm going to rip your dick off.
I have a 1-year-old at home. What's your excuse?
I have a 1-year-old in my head.
Working the controls.
Working the control.
Have you met me? That's my excuse.
Yes, it's like the numbskulls. Oh God! Yes. So this is. I don't know about you guys and your seasoned acting career, but this is why I got all that debt getting a film degree, so I can make fart noises.
This is we covered this in our third term at the Lambda.
Lambda.
Fart noises.
Here we go. Look, Annalise is throwing us a lifeline here. Favorite Nicolas Cage film? Any particular? He did David Lynch. I really like Raising Arizona. Actually, I've always really liked Raising Arizona.
Well, I'm duty bound to say Grand Isle because
Probably
The Rock. I think it's probably my favorite
of
his mainstream stuff. Mm-hmm. I think that's my favorite. Yeah. But Raising Arizona obviously is brilliant. But
I would say either that or Wild at Heart because it's insane.
Wild at Heart's nuts, and that is such a performance by him as well. I mean, and do you know what? I always really respected the fact that he could have just fucking walked around and been Nicholas Coppola, and he chose not to. I'm not saying he completely didn't feel any benefit from his familiar thing, but he took his name or changed his name to separate himself from that. I noticed that this is produced by Michael Douglas, and obviously the Michael Douglas produces a lot of stuff, so I assume that's probably the Michael Douglas.
It is
not Michael Keaton.
Yes, indeed, yeah.
Or Buster Keaton.
No, or Orson Welles.
Buster Rhymes. I don't think it was any of them. It was Michael Douglas. When the screenwriters, they sold this to Warner Brothers. And apparently, they originally wanted Stallone and Schwarzenegger to play in it, which would have been great.
Yeah, at that point in time, because all that happened in the Expendables was great.
It would, but try getting one of them to agree to be the. You know what I mean? Like the egos flying around that room would have been just.
Because what we're seeing now is this insane situation that we could have had then, whereby like everybody in a Fast and Furious film is only allowed to, they'll have to have an equal number of punches, and if they get knocked on the floor,
my God, that's hilarious.
They're not allowed to be on their back. And it's like, well, how are we supposed to set up any kind of antagonism where The Rock has to have the same number of punches as fucking, Jason Statham or whatever?
My advice is sort it out like chimps. If you want dominance on the movie set,
right.
Go rip Vin Diesel's dick.
Well, that's why The Rock and Vin Diesel have such animosity, because The Rock tore his cock off on the first day. Just walked up and tore it.
not welcome to The Rock. I can imagine.
And then Jason Statham tore The Rock's cock off, and it's just been this circle of,
I'm gonna tear his cock off. His cock off. Oh no! It's a megalodon.
It's a megalodon.
We've got a situation here. My favourite line in Ghost of Mars. We got a situation here. It's like, there's undead ghosts of aliens are possessing all the people on your planet. The spoilers.
There are ghosts on Mars, Jason.
Ghosts on Mars.
Literally ghosts on Mars.
It's right there in the title.
Ghosts of Mars.
I am not the guy.
Megalodons on Mars.
Interestingly, his character was in Spy, kept referencing the face-off machine.
I love, he's so good in Spy.
I love that.
He's kind of truculent. It's like, where did you get that suit? I made it. He's like really.
He goes, I fucking made it.
I fucking made it, didn't I? He's really kind of truculent. It's so good. That's such. I really, 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 really liked them using him because he's got really good comedy chops, it turns out, and we should have more of that. A really funny guy. Because I suppose I need to forget that I didn't know when I first saw him in Lock, Stock and Snatch and stuff that he was an Olympian and a dancer and all that. I didn't know any of that. So when he turned up doing martial arts films, it was like, what the fuck is this? And in the Lock, Stock films, he gets most of the funny Lock, Stock and Snatch. He gets most of the funny lines and stuff, and really dry. And that's kind of been forgotten about a little bit. And in Spy, he's fucking hilarious. He's really, really funny.
That bit there where he just ran up to him and went, no, and like pushed him to the ground and started shooting at Nicolas Cage. Was like, what did you achieve by doing that? Like, it looked like he was about to shoot him.
Yeah, I will say this: all the action scenes in this are fucking spectacular. They're pure John Woo. I think he handles action so brilliantly, and they just look incredible.
I just think it's very impractical to use two guns. Come on, guys.
Nicolas Cage has his custom Colt 45s, like his gold and black. But then John Woo fetishizes guns so much in a way that's I find really cool. But it's he does this. What I've always liked about like a John Woo action sequence. And Private Watch Party people have heard this twice now, is that there's this great fixation of detail. It's not just like, firstly, they tend to be very three-dimensional. So there's a it moves in all directions. So there's a thing where he yanks on the chain and goes up on the chain and shoots, and there's loads of stuff in Hard Boiled where Chow Yun Fat kind of swings into scenes and stuff. But
that's very reminiscent of Hard Target as well. Lots of going up,
like that end scene with
the end stuff.
Yeah. He always does things. There's a great bit there where you see someone shoot a gun, and then you see where the bullet hits the chain, and there's a spark flies off. And in a lot of action direction kind of things, directors just show bullets flying around and ping, 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 ping. John Woo very often accounts for where shots have gone. You can't do that every time because that's not how the chaos of a gunfight works, but a lot of the time you see kind of reports from a gun, and then you see where they went and what they've done, and the travel of weapons across scenes and the consequences of those things. And I just think he's got this insane knack for it. Like maybe he used to be a gunfighter that had two guns. I don't know.
I think that's really interesting because I think the sort of the geography of gunfire is interesting in Free Fire, the Ben Wheatley film.
Yes, and that's a single room. I've still not seen that. I really want to see it. It's a single room kind of gunfight.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I've heard it's. I've always loved the concept. I never got around to watching it because I'm a dumbass.
Well, no, you're not. But or are you? No, sorry, you are.
Yeah,
sorry,
you.
Yes, you are.
Let's just keep it accurate, Mike, for the sake of the story.
Sorry about that. Hard Target though. Yeah, I have a great deal of fondness for that because.
Oh, just a quick word. This is so not Nicolas Cage when the guy hits look at the close up on the stunt guys. Like that looks like fucking Tim Vine.
He was quite a spry man.
That's mate. If you're ever in the mood to sabotage an IMDb trivia section, that's the one. That's the one.
That's on our face.
So Mike, something that I don't know if we covered this on the show with you last time, but it's something that's a kind of a pet hate of Duncan and I's is like bullshit IMDb trivia. And one thing that comes up a lot is like, this scene was improvised, and it's like the standard bearer for that for me is when when Han Solo shoots the console in Star Wars rather than talk to the guy on the other end. And that used to be a thing. It's like, Han Solo improvised that. It's like he doesn't really have a laser gun. There's like the fucking thing blows up. Like it's like this horse shit. What are you talking about? And I remember hearing, I think during my kind of film study thing, and it was kind of like, oh yeah, well the boat chase sequence in this wasn't in it, and John Woo saw some boats and went, let's have a boat chase sequence. It's like nothing. It doesn't work like that. Even a really expensive film. It's like quickly get some boats. It's like that has to be like storyboarded.
Sorry, and that's all second unit filming as well. It's like you don't. I mean, I'm sure John Woo was involved in that because it has, but you don't do that. Stuntmen have to plan.
Like he's standing on a dock, and it's like, "Excuse me, boys, I need your boats for my action film." In Cantonese, and it's just like that's not how it works at all. Like improvised. Shut the fuck up. Get the fuck off.
People just use that as it seems to come from a place of desire, hoping to make out that it's all just sort of serendipitous, whatever. It's like that's what they're trying to point out is that it was all just done, just people just flying by the seat of their pants. But it's like it doesn't work. Like you can't make films that way, especially not massive juggernauts like that.
No, there's some planning needs to go into them. Yeah, I see that. Although I've done a couple where no, it's fine.
Don't get me wrong. Like they do jump into a worrying number of them without a completed script.
Yeah, well, you hear about these disaster stories and stuff, and totally, like, improvised dialogue and jokes and stuff I get, but it's when, like, people sort of go, like, in Apollo 13, when the spaceship goes to space, that was improvised. It's like, no, it wasn't. No one's actually said that, but it's always kind of like, Tom Hanks built a spaceship and used it on the day, and Ron Howard was surprised to see that he knew how to fly a real spaceship, and whatever. It's just like,
it's the flowery language when it's people, and they do it in sort of YouTube reviews as well, as when they start using these sort of what's the word, like they'll say things like they'll use overly flowery language, so they'll be like the super criminal, otherwise known as Bane. That's how he's known.
It's just Bane, mate. It's just Bane.
So AKA that is what he's called.
John, AKA John.
Yeah, AKA the caped crusader. It's like, shut up.
I would love Bane to have a second life, but he doesn't get changed or take the mask off, but he's just Jeff.
Right.
Working down the bank.
Yeah. Can't go for a pint because he's got no way to.
Yes, really. He's got a terrible time.
I don't think they never showed him with a straw, did they? Straight down the middle of the mask, like.
Well, he must have had one sucking up all them protein shakes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he was a big fella. Fair play to him.
He's a big fella. I do like this.
He's got a massive cock and ball.
Well, I would think that's like a 3-chimp cock, isn't it? If you're gonna...
It's like he was a chimp. He stole everyone else's and shoved it down his own.
Shoved it down his own. Down his own. To absorb
surgery with Duncan Casey.
Ian McGar says, "I heard
my surgery's all improvised."
All improvised.
I heard Thanos doing the snap was off the cuff, says Ian McGar. They didn't know how to end the movie, so Josh Brolin snapped half of everybody out of existence, thus setting up the sequel.
He's a powerful man. He's a powerful man.
Rob says a good one. God, I hate videos where some awkward 19-year-old tries to sound serious whilst discussing alien lore like it's a real thing. Or an awkward 39-year-old. What? Anyway, so... yes. What about Face Off?
Faced off.
Oh,
look at the floppy disk of truth.
The floppy disk of truth.
When they sold this to Warner Brothers, like I said, they were trying to get it all together with Schwarzenegger and Stallone. Stallone, I think, was doing Demolition Man, so they shelved it. And then the rights expired, so they then sold it to Paramount. So they sold the script twice.
Wow.
It's nice, isn't it?
That's got to be all right, hasn't it? Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me.
Duality thing.
And the first director for this that they initially had was the one who went on to direct the Fast and Furious.
The first Fast and Furious film? I can never remember who directed that, because then it became...
I can't remember either.
It became the Festival of James Wan and Justin Lin, I think, later on in its life. But...
Yeah, fuck, I can't, because he has a cameo in the film as well. Damn it, I'll come back to me. There's a CCH Pounder.
Good old CCH Pounder, our once and future Amanda Waller.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, was she Amanda Waller?
She was the voice of Amanda Waller in the
she's
animated.
The voice of Amanda Waller.
Yeah,
sorry, of course she is. No, and the best. Amanda
yeah,
Waller.
she so encapsulates that character.
So disappointed with damn it.
The one what does it now.
The one what does it now, yeah. Viola Davis, who I love as an actress, but I was like, that's a perfect choice, and then she was.
I think the James Gunn Suicide Squad is going to turn things around for that. I hope. And
you are hanging far too much on that,
dude. James Gunn, James Gunn. Have a bit. Though James Gunn has done some things I really don't like. Like I just thought Super was horribly mean. Like, you know, but yeah, the James Gunn Suicide Squad, man. I think it's gonna be fun. It needs to know. It's got like Polka Dot Man in it and like Peter Capaldi.
It better be, or I'm blaming you.
I didn't make it, you cunt. Anyway, we got to watch it for clicks. So get your head out your ass and watch yet another shit thing because of me.
The character that Nathan Fillion's gonna play is my favourite.
Oh, which one is that?
Is he in Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Oh, he's interested now. Nathan Fillion's in it.
I do like a Nathan Fillion.
Yeah. Flula Borg as well, man. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Well, it might be good.
He plays. Should I? I don't. Is it a spoiler to know what character? No, because it's out there. His character, I think, is based on a DC character called Arm Fall Off Boy.
Oh yes, that's right. And he can just make his arms and legs fly off everywhere.
His
well, this is it, Duncan. This is the thing, right? The James Gunn version is they've gone and got all the crap, weird, fringe characters and done it with that, and it's not trying to be cool. It's supposed to be kind of silly, and I'm kind of poor Duncan just lives this kind of purgatorial life where I make him watch crap.
No, I live a life where I'm not able to keep up with things in the way that you are anymore. I'm just sort of I feel like very behind the curve on these things. And people often ask me what I think of them, and I'm just like, huh?
Like, I don't know. I've got a baby and a job.
Yeah, make it up, man. Just go, yeah, it's good, it's great. Do you like it? No, I don't like it.
In that case, it is bad.
It's awful. No, I don't like it. Yeah, that's what I do when people ask me questions about everyday life, because I can't remember anything or anybody. Who are you two?
Where am I?
What's this place?
Look, our name should be above the whatever. Yeah.
Oh, Duncan, I want to. No, by the way, also they've got this miracle surgery to make John Travolta thin. It's not just face off; it's gut off. It shows them shaving his stomach and stuff. And also because they rebuild Cage's, is it Cage's ear? Don't they, with their little machine? Which
it's the other guy, the other FBI agent.
They grow back. They grow back Vin Diesel's cock, so they can stitch it back on.
Took 5 days.
It's all about Corona beer, barbecues, and having your willy regrown by a laser.
It took them 5 days and a dry dock.
Dang, dang.
Just like the Titanic. Yeah, and then the Queen smashed the bottle of brandy on his dick. And he rolled down the slipway into the harbour. Sailed off.
Glaswegians.
It's sort of
using
like
a record number of rivets.
This is like H.R. Giger's Industrial Revolution. It's just loads of.
Cher did an entire video on the deck of it.
On the deck.
Loads of
New Zealand.
Loads of
Kiwi guy.
Men in Glasgow in grey caps, hoisting an enormous
I'm
penis.
here to mend Vin Diesel's dick.
Oh God.
Oh, dear.
This is where the problem's going to occur, Mike, because normally we're quite in tune for audience, but every now and then a film comes up that Duncan and I are not that bothered about, and then we'll not talk about it, and then people listen back to the watch party and go, "I'm quite annoyed at you for not doing this."
I'm so sorry.
That's not your
that.
fault. No, you can do what you like. You're a guest. No, it's fine. You do whatever you want.
Excellent.
Technically, you're a guest, and we failed to control you.
Small bricks in your coat.
But you have my family. That's why you make me come back on.
Exactly. I would. You know what? It's very nice of you to say that, Mike, because it suggests a situation where we have the resources to do such a thing, and the motivation. As we have neither.
This is what explains away. You see this? This is what is supposed to explain away how they can look like each other. Like he puts this kind of clear thing over it. And it's like, how is that going to do that?
Yeah, this thick plastic thing that's underneath the skin, I guess. I mean, you really have to go, because they have the chips in their throats and stuff, and it is kind of like, this premise is such a. I mean, it's fine. It's supposed to be silly. I'm not. I have no issue with the premise of the execution of the concept. It's a science concept. Yeah, I don't hate it.
The 90s was very good at this sort of stuff because it all comes in the kind of. This is one of my favourite lines because shit in his pants. Where's Dietrich? These sort of high concept things. I mean, even things like speed. You know, it was like there was one central rule, essentially. And It's the same thing with this. It's like there's one central thing to hang your hat on, and then the rest of it. You know, as long as the audience buys that one thing, the rest of it. And that's quite.
They're kind of premise movies, aren't they?
And it's quite a good thing to do because it liberates you from having to then be so procedural as to explain everything. You know,
I still think this film started as a title and then
it feels like that, doesn't it?
There he goes.
There goes my bum off again. Cambridge, man, Cambridge and fucking motorbikes. Jesus Christ!
I thought it was supposed to be push bikes in Cambridge. Push
it
bikes,
is,
you know, like a penny farthing.
Yes, unicycles mostly. And
push bikes.
Recumbent bicycles. Highest number of bicycles to citizens proportion in the whole UK, Michael.
Oh, that's nice.
Also, twats on motorbikes going past my house. Sometimes in summer, because it's hot, sit with the window open, and then you'll get that at 4 a.m, just like when you're trying to sleep. Have some dreadful dream. The Wincoin Exchange gives £5 The laser stuff reminds me of my vasectomy. Good start. They cauterise your chip. Wincoin Exchange. Wincoin Exchange, highly loyal Val Verdean, who's giving this very intimate and painful sounding story. The laser stuff reminds me of my vasectomy. They cauterise your tubes, and they didn't numb me enough, so it felt like a cattle prod to the nads.
Oh,
yikes! I didn't realise it's cauterisation. I never really gave that much thought.
Not doing that.
Yes. Finish on our back, lads. No, sorry. Okay.
Staying potent.
Oh gosh.
I love that the Simpsons when Marge and Homer get remarried or whatever, or renew their vows. And was it that Reverend James love him in potence and impotence?
Oh.
So
Face slash off. Yeah, it very much feels. Going back to Mike's point, this definitely feels like it's one of those pitch movies, isn't it? It's kind of like, oh, well, we've got a funny name. Because I didn't really know. Because is that? I mean, are we referencing the hockey thing? Is that? Because because they say they have face-offs in hockey. That's a kind of sporting term, I think. And just to have a face-off is just to confront someone.
Yeah.
Put a slash in it, and his face is off in it.
Yeah, I don't really understand what the slash is about, because it's not we're not suggesting those are the same thing, are we?
Well, it's kind of, if we didn't put the slash, people think it's just about a confrontation and not about someone's face coming off and then having a confrontation. I guess. We run it.
What are we going to have him bum off? Is it going to be a slash?
It's a slash
or
a
colon?
Well, there will be a colon.
There's got to be a colon.
Not in the grammar, just in the film. I mean, maybe just throw some put a tilde in there, some of the lesser used punctuations.
Tilde?
Chuck a tilde in, bum tilde off. And then we'll have Tilda Swinton in it as well.
Excellent. Yeah. This is going to be great.
What's it? Interrobang. Let's have an interrobang. An interrobang was this thing they floated for about 5 minutes, which was the combination of a question mark and an exclamation mark. It's like, we just use those two things.
Was this one of these weird kind of Victorian Edwardian things that didn't catch on, or was this like?
No, recently? It was. I remember being at school and they were like, "We're doing this now," and I was like, "Oh, I mean, I didn't. Not that I didn't get my copy of Grammar Weekly, but I don't think. Are we though?
Is it?
I think so.
It's the irony mark, inverted question exclamation marks.
Yeah.
If they'd introduced that as they're going to combine the question mark and the exclamation mark, but it's going to look like a cock and balls, we would have all been on.
We'd have done it. We'd have been interrobanging all over the place.
We would have been ahead of the curve.
Look at that! I'm gonna paste one into the chat because I can cut and paste it from an interrobang.
Oh, thank God! I thought you meant a cock and balls.
I'm going to paste a cock and balls that was given to me by a chimp just this afternoon. If you look in the chat, you can see an interrobang.
That's a really good impression of a chimp.
Oh no, Duncan!
I really enjoyed that.
On the Terminator 3, there's a bit in our Terminator 3 commentary where it's sort of a quiet moment, and I just lost it, and it's in the best of. We're looking at Nick's style, and Duncan just kind of goes, "He's got quite simian features, hasn't he?" It's one of my favourite things.
I like putting voices to animals. Like I do it with our pets all the time. Like Winston definitely has a character now because he's so sort of he's just sort of a befuddled idiot in my head. Like that's because it'll be like he knows sometimes he gets carrot peel as like if I'm peeling carrots, so you hear him like totter up behind you, and he sits there with this look on his face, like he's kind of like, I was just passing through to go to get some grass from outside, and I've heard I saw that some carrots up there, and I could get rid of those for you. I could because you see, and he's always like trying to explain away. He's always the best thing to do is to jump in without anything to say.
See that he is like that. I just happen to be here. There's food, and I don't know what to do.
If you would like, I can. I do very reasonable rates, and I could turn it into poo if you want. I just putting it out there. I do okay.
Goodbye.
Carrot peel
into poo,
like Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh no! This is where he took his face off.
Off. Oh, there it is.
Put it up his bum.
Little Tupperware.
In a Tupperware. Those are I used to when I worked at the hospital, because I worked at the food court there for years.
Oh, can you give me a time code? Sorry, mine paused when I came off the.
Okay. Well,
roughly.
If you scrub to about 35:20 and wait.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Okay.
All right. Sorry.
Here we go. 10 seconds. 5, 4.
Exciting stuff.
3, 2, 1. There you go.
Okay, there is good. He's having his hair painted.
Yeah, exactly. There is some good kind of models and stuff here, and you have a weird hybrid on the computer of John Travolta with Nicolas Cage's hair. Yes, they used to those plastic face mold things. I can't remember. I think they used them in some kind of cancer therapies or something. But when we used to take the Burger King waste out to the bins in the hospital, we shared the bin space with the proper hospital, and quite often there'd be a skip full of plastic face molds like that, or like a bin full of
I like how they
legs and shit like that. Let's just be down there.
Did you
They
take
don't
any?
Time, mate. I'm sitting on a pile of them.
Why would they have a, this is yet again this thing of like people don't understand what computers are for. It's like, why would you have a program that shows just his face turning into the other guy? It's like all that informs you is that you're turning that man into that
It's
man.
classic
Yeah.
We know
computer
that.
for the audience stuff, isn't it? We've talked about this before.
Yes.
It's like
I love it when they make noises when the cursive text comes across the screen. Goes like wow, someone had to program that.
yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be
Doesn't
really
sound terribly
stupid if it was in an upcoming short film.
Yeah, that would be.
That'd be really
Oh,
dumb.
I know,
Guys, I got to go deal with something. I'll be back in a minute. It's okay. I'm playing with the artifice. It's fine. Much like in Bum Off.
The
The
artifice.
artifice. See, this is. See,
Oh, there he goes. He's going Nick
he's too
Cage.
psycho.
I never got this sort of thing where they were like, he studied Travolta and Travolta studied him, or I'm like, did he? Because I don't see much of a.
Did he know?
I'm not
Did he know?
I'm not sure.
Did he
that's
though?
entirely true.
What's your motivation? Oh, you're a sad FBI agent wearing your arch enemy's face. Okay, I got. He just goes fucking
This
nuts.
is so weird.
Because this is just Cage going Cage nuts again. I
Love
say
it.
just, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Full Cagean
I
rant.
quite liked.
Oh, and now he's crying.
the-
I know. Do you know what? I know. I once worked with a stuntman who did Kick-Ass, and there's obviously a moment in Kick-Ass where Nicolas Cage is suffering quite a bit and having to speak, and he was so extreme in what he did because this stunt guy was there watching it, didn't know what was going to happen, and he had to be escorted off the set because he couldn't stop laughing at Cage's extraordinary performance. I don't think that's great because like I wouldn't be able to deal with that. I don't think I could.
Extraordinary is the best way to describe him. I think there's no one else like him at all. I love that what he did with that character as well. To do it as Adam West, like it's genius. It's a really genius bit of performance, and because Nicolas Cage is a nerd and he loves all that stuff. So he kind of brings.
He's a fearless guy. Like, say what you want about him.
Yeah.
He's fucking fearless. Like, I don't get the impression that he's ever sort of, making career moves with stuff. He's doing it because he wants to, and he's seen him with like in interviews and stuff when he talks about it. He's like, no.
Like, those little weird indie films. There's quite often. I watched that one, Willy's Wonderland, which is him about him fighting the fast food mascots in the boarded up
Fighting
fast
chimp,
food
but
thing.
It's like the Chuck E.
Yeah,
Cheese
the Chuck E.
things.
Cheese things. It was really fun. It was really, really good. And I believe that was a short that he got involved with and then got the feature made and didn't do it for very much money. Like, I think he might have done it for scale or something.
Right.
And it's really great. Like, loads of reviews are like, I fucking hate this, it's stupid. And it's like, no, it's this crazy B movie. And actually, he's mute throughout and that's another thing. He's done this small film where they've hired a movie star and he doesn't speak. And it's a really straightforward. It's very much about a man fighting and winning against haunted fast food mascots, and it doesn't pretend to be anything else. And it was loads of fun, and he got it fucking made, and he doesn't speak in it, and it's another kind of weird performance.
I'm going to watch that.
Loads of fun. I can't remember. It's on one of the. It might have been included in Prime or something. I don't think I paid to watch it. It was included in some stream. Yes, I recommend it very highly. Very fun night in.
And of course, we talk about favourite Cage movies. Con Air.
I never got
love it.
all the love for Con Air. I don't mind it. I quite enjoy it, but I never got quite why everyone went so bananas for it.
Just because it's nothing and everything. It's definitely style over substance.
And so is this.
And that's fine, because we need films.
Everybody's
like
saying
that.
my mic's gone quiet, and I haven't touched anything. And my pigs.
Do they mean me?
You're not my mic. You're your own mic. I think I probably just moved away from the mic. It was probably just bad mic technique on my part. Sorry, guys. But I don't think. Benji says, Richard, check your mic. Play with your blue tack. That will fix it. There you go. Sorry, I think it was just poor mic technique, everybody. I apologise. Closer to my face.
If only you'd gone to the RADA, you would have known.
Yes, quite. Acting. That's why I am...
These look like they were stolen off the Super Mario Brothers film.
Oh, man. That would be one to talk. That's a highly interesting film, and not because it's good. By any means.
I had never seen it, of course.
Yeah,
but,
completely dreadful. It's kind of like, you know what's good about Mario? How much it resembles Blade Runner. So, okay, fine. That's all right. At least with that Sonic film, which admittedly the Sonic film came 30 years later, it's like, yes, about a blue hedgehog collecting rings. Yeah, all right, it's for kids. Fine. It's like no one looks at Mario and goes like, oh yeah, let's make a kind of weirdly dark dystopian sci-fi. It's like, okay, very strange film.
It is odd. It is very odd.
Really strange film.
I would watch that again, though. I would watch that again.
I would just as it exists as this strange curiosity, yeah, and it's just because it's from the early days of adapting video games to films, which I still argue they haven't really nailed in any kind of real way.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a good translation. I don't know. Although I'm probably going to get shouted down here, but I liked Silent Hill. It was creepy and weird, man.
No, I agree with you on that. Actually, that was a really freaky movie. I think what it did right was it took the tone of the game and kind of, but did it sort of did its own thing? But yeah, no, I think you're right. But
it managed to keep most of it in one place. I think that was.
We've had this discussion before, and Richard has this great analogy, and of course, it had Sean Bean.
yes.
Bastard.
You bastard.
Gonna punch hell in the face, you bastard.
No, it had. Richard has this great analogy where he says it's like movie game film adaptations are like slaughtering a pig, turning it into sausage meat, reshaping that sausage meat into a pig, and then wondering why it doesn't oink anymore, which I think is great. But it's that I should have let you know.
I've said it so many bloody times. I'm glad not to.
But it's so true because it's like you're taking a medium that is influenced by film, but then has this sort of interactive element tacked onto it, and then turning it back into a film. It's like, well, there's something lost in translation there, isn't there? Of course there is. You can't, because video games are just they're cinematic.
Here's the really great example that is highly relevant to what we're watching, and that's Max Payne. So Max Payne, the goal of Max Payne, it has its own story that's very kind of overwritten, but it's kind of the point. It's super pulpy. But the point in Max Payne was they wanted to make playable John Woo action scenes. And they want to take what they want to do is extract that from the John Woo sensibility, and the games reference John Woo, and they are excellent games, by the way. Make playable John Woo action scenes and use those tropes, and they've looked at that and gone like, oh, we were going to put in this bullet time mechanic, you do this, you could do that, and that's great. To then make a film of Max Payne is to then just make a John Woo knockoff around a kind of quite hackneyed noir plot, and it's like, well, this is coprophagy. All you've done is kind of go around in this circle.
I mean. It's interesting, isn't it? Because in movies that works really well, like Kurosawa's samurai films were all based on his homage to John Ford's westerns, which were then made into westerns,
right?
And they worked beautifully. So you've got Yojimbo, which became Fistful of Dollars, and Sanjuro, which is a few dollars more, and all that kind of thing. But Magnificent Seven, Seven Samurai. So it can. I think there's one of the weird things about. Sorry, we're going off topic, but video game adaptations as well is you, the player, are the main character, and that's difficult to write in a movie.
Well, I don't play Resident Evil games. The plots are cool and fun. But what I get out of Resident Evil is a sense of exploration, the mental engagement of puzzle solving, the problem solving elements, and the kind of horror elements experienced in the first hand, right? You can't convey that in a non-interactive medium, I'm afraid. And as much as I'd love to see a film about a virus making people into zombies, we have those, and you've got nothing really more to offer from the because Resident Evil wears those pajamas to give you, because I love the Resident Evil, like I say, puzzle solving and exploration are things you can do, and learning from your mistakes. You can't learn from your mistakes watching a film. You can watch characters learn from their mistakes, but I can't make a mistake watching a film after shitting my pants or dropping my drink.
Unless of course you're watching
available now on Steam, PlayStation Store, Xbox. Yes, that's the one. You know, you've been part of one of the biggest examples of the revival of the interactive movie genre, which is something that came along with CD media in the early 90s and then quickly went away because the technology wasn't ready. And now you can stream those things to people's houses, the Netflix versions, and then in your case, it's on mobile. Because the joy of the game Urine is that goes on every Urine.
Like we.
Yeah, yeah, precisely. That goes on every platform because it doesn't have the same kind of greedy system requirements. You can put that on everything. Also, piss, hot piss, cold piss.
Yes. Who doesn't love that? Artist. So here's the thing. I think we should do this. We need to get the rights for write and film Nightmare, the movie.
Oh, what? Would you be Treguard? You have to be Treguard.
My name's Treguard. I used to do a lot of work. Now I'm here. Get on with the game.
Is it a French name? Is that the message? It's Treguard.
He's very good.
He's very good. Treguard. Duncan could be Pickle. I'll direct. The reviving Nightmare.
Which one was Pickle? Was
the
Pickle
little little kind of jester goblin? Well, because my thing, you remember Amazing Spider-Man 2 when Dane DeHaan turns into Green Goblin? He's just Pickle from Nightmare. It's like he looks exactly like Pickle.
Hurry up, team!
Warning, team! Dear. Ooh, nasty.
That'd be
Film
great.
about a man who shuffles square by square.
He wakes up Saw style in this terrible nightmarish warehouse full of traps with this helmet bolted to his head, and his friends have to guide him through, or he dies and they die. Oh, Duncan Fjord! Fine. Wow.
Wow. Can you imagine being one of those kids on Nightmare? It's like, oh god, I'm going to be on Nightmare, and then someone puts you with a bucket on your head, and you have to stand in a green screen room like for hours and hours and hours, whilst your friends go, "Oh, Nathan, take one step forward." Like,
I would love that so much. It would be really good. What you want to do is you want to get that's the torture element, isn't it? You get the fully grown human being person. No, that's not right. Human adult.
Otherwise known as a person. Yeah.
And then I was about to say, and then some teenagers, but I guess they're human beings as well. And then some really nervous teenagers trying to send them through and not die. That's great. Somebody write this down.
That's so when they show him with his face off, it's like he's still got his nose and everything. So what did you actually take off his face?
Is it supposed to be like the plastic? Did they put a plastic mold underneath?
Well, that's what sort of implied, yes, to make giving the bone structure. But then it's like it's not just your face. It's like it goes around your head, your whole, but like everything. You can't.
You would have been thrown right out of the production meetings, wouldn't you?
Yes. Yeah. Again.
Ow.
I don't think that has worked.
Are you sure the chimp wouldn't rip his dick off? There's not even a chimp in this.
Do we have any chimps? Can we get a chimp?
Can we have it? I've got a costume.
Again with the chimps. Get him out of here.
I've got a costume and I've got a very, very strong grip.
Vin Diesel sat in the corner on one of those inflatable donuts, kind of wincing at the mention of chimpanzees. Rubbing his area.
Yeah, that he had to have replaced with 12,000 rivets in Southampton.
Ripped off by Groot.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. I am sorry to saying chat plays Nightmare with Richard who has a bucket on his head. So, okay. Hold on.
By the way, I realised I have a text from Mark Price that arrived 45 minutes ago and I didn't see it. So I apologise, Mark, if you're still listening. He says there is no subtext. If there were both characters... Well, if there were, both characters would have appreciated where they came from instead of just kind of liking the other's friends.
There you go.
I had a very nice phone call from Mark, Mr. Price, earlier today. I won't divulge what went on in that phone call, but it was very exciting.
Phone sex?
I said I wasn't going to...
Oh,
yes.
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, we talked about...
No, I was just asking if you... Later, would you...
All right, well, we'll see. We'll see.
All right, fine.
I mean, it might help me get to sleep.
I'm playing the chimp this time, that's all.
Pansy the chimp.
That's me. Cheers.
You've all got drinks, I haven't got a drink.
I just had water.
I'm drinking Heineken Zero alcohol.
I just want because I'm still brought it up. I just want everybody to know that I do have the. You'll be excited to see it again, guys. I have the Type 2 Bleed bucket with me.
Oh wow!
The definite article.
That's the main. That's the main character. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
That could also be. That could be the main hero prop for Nightmare the movie.
Well, I Am Snorlax was. Oh,
yeah.
It's quite a dirty bucket. I don't.
You're on a bridge.
Yeah, it's a take one step forward. My name is Mike Geary from Bury St Edmunds, age 12 and a half.
On your left, there is a void full of stars. On your right, there is a pit of chimps. I think they're chimps.
Oh, well, hello,
They've got a lot of-
adventurer. I see you found a pit of chimps. Maybe if you tell me a rhyme, I'll give you the key to the door. Or whatever.
Yeah, some cunts just jumped in front of you.
Some cunt that couldn't get into EastEnders is here. They're wearing a shit costume.
I can't get into EastEnders, so it's fair enough.
Well, he's done it. He's done it.
Damn you!
Twice he says. Twice, yes. He got a wiki page.
Thrice, technically, because I've done 2 characters, but I've been on it thrice.
Oh,
Thrice.
I feel a Shatner moment coming. Duncan!
He doesn't get it, Mike. I get it though.
Duncan, motherfucker.
Duncan. Done did.
Done did. I'm done dead. What y'all gonna do about it? Yeehaw. Motherfucker.
I'm so mad with you, face off.
Mark Price says, tell him you and Mike may be working together. I told Mike already. Well, I don't want to, because I don't think it's official, really. So I don't know.
If Mark's saying you can say it, it's probably all right.
I suppose, but yes, it does look like there may be a reprisal or a reprisal of
getting the band back together.
But
Mark Price, don't steal the Nightmare movie idea.
Yeah, man. I've got the bucket. The bucket's mine.
Excuse me, is your name James Cameron or Ridley
Is your name Jan Travolta?
Thank you kindly to stop stealing my idea. Glad you know, steal his idea.
I don't know. I think this is the museum's bucket, and on that basis I should return it, because this is not a thing I provided. It just turned up during the shoot. I needed a bucket and someone turned up with a bucket, and I don't know where it came from. I think it could be Jason's bucket. Look at the inside.
Jason is probably Sid's for the last few months been just sort of walking the halls, looking forlornly for his bucket.
Where on earth is my dialysis bucket that goes in my dialysis machine and makes it work?
On the chat,
Collect all
dialysis.
dialysis.
On the chat, we've got I Am Snorlax, who's just said spellcasting. PENI. That made me snort. That's very funny.
Oh God.
And Mark Price says he's now writing the Nightmare film. So
boo.
lost that one, guys.
That's it. Gone for the hat trick. We'll. I'll see you. I'll see you in Strasbourg.
It's
Strasbourg.
I just wanted to say that. I'll see you in your night.
I'll see you in Strasbourg.
You took my face off. Give me my face. This is the classic age of prisons that had bottom half green, top half beige. You know, whatever happened to that classic design of prison?
It's a watermark.
Yes,
prison.
Yes, yeah.
The tide mark.
It's
just a school of interior design that assumes floods will happen one day, so just covering bases.
Yeah. they do. That's for sure. So. With this, I'm very confused.
Right.
Who's who now?
Right, that's right. So John Travolta is Teddy Roosevelt, and Nicolas Cage is Gina Gershon, and Gina Gershon is Papillon. And I don't know. I thought
she's going to escape and float away on a raft,
nice,
but not before Dustin Hoffman shows up and plays Mary Poppins.
And
I can't wait.
There was something I was flicking through one of those things because I really do. I need to put a stop to this, but I do get sort of sucked into Instagram vortices.
Sucked.
Classic. Yes, and I got to one where it was like they did like images that you could scroll through of people playing the same characters. There were loads of different, like whoever's redone characters like the Wizard of Oz or all that sort of stuff, and then it got to Mary Poppins, and it was obviously Julie Walters, Emily Blunt, and then Michael Rooker from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Brilliant. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Yeah, I love it. You look like Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
Is he cool? Cool.
Yeah, he's cool. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Michael Rooker in the new Suicide Squad. James Gunn. It's going to be a fun time, probably.
I love Michael Rooker and I love James Gunn. Their combination's great. Slither is a great film.
Great.
I will not heard.
Did you see the Belko Experiment? He wrote it.
Did
he wrote it. He didn't direct it. It's kind of a James Gunn by proxy, and it's a very good. Someone described it. The best description. It is a really great description. Is Office Space meets Battle Royale. So it has all of those. It's really cool, and it was the film I think that relaunched Orion as a brand. So like the new Bill and Ted was under Orion as well, and a few others.
Did he have anything to do with the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead?
Yes, he wrote it. He wrote it, and then it was rewritten by Snyder and his wife, I think. So yeah, because it's cool. It's a cool movie. I quite like. I should by all means hate that, but I actually quite like that film.
I do too. Yeah, it's got some good stuff going on in there. But you also got some phenomenal actors in that film.
Great cast, really good cast in that movie.
Is that the one with Ving Rhames?
Yeah, Ving Rhames, Sarah Polley,
and Phil Dunphy from Modern Family.
Yes, yeah.
Playing an extraordinary because not quite the same.
Total shit,
bracket.
isn't he? Like
so great at it. But that's so odd because he played a number of total shits in his earlier career. Because I think he was a similar character in what's that terrible film with David Duchovny, Evolution.
Is he in Evolution? I don't remember that. Yeah. Fucking Evolution. Jesus Christ. Ivan fucking Reitman, man, did Evolution.
That's it. I don't know what happened there. Somebody
wanted to sell shampoo. That's what happened there. I can tell you that right now.
Ethan Suplee was in it as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. He's another Scientologist, since we're here with Johnny Travolta. JT seems to have done a thing recently where I don't know what he was doing, but he did this thing where he just had this horrible dye job, and he had these eyebrows that looked like sort of spider's legs that were glued to his face, and this beard, and he stopped all that, shaved his head, and just grew a grey beard out, and he looks so much better. It's just like, dude, this is me saying that, but he's just like, dude, yeah, just go. It's like,
no, I agree. Always better when you embrace it. Like, come on, Steve Seagal, or whatever. You just like give it up, mate. You look like Dracula.
For the last Terminator movie, Arnie
and
a cut, a fat Dracula. Arnie let his grey hair and grey beard, and he looked fucking great, right? And now I think he started dyeing it brown again. It's like, well, we've seen it now, man. You look cool with the grey hair. Don't fucking walk around.
Yeah, we've seen behind the curtain, mate. I'm sorry, you can't put that cat back in the back. And it's the same as Stallone does it as well. I mean, because Arnold's as well. Like, he's properly receding now, and he's still going for the high top thing.
You're in your 70s, mate. You're in your 70s. Don't worry about it.
Stallone's hairline is like here, and it's a straight line, and it's like, wait, hold on. Now that's not right, is it? It wasn't ever there. Like, what the fuck, mate?
It's like we have archival footage of you.
It's not like you're a movie star or anything.
I'm looking forward to my hair going fully white. It's going to be Father Christmases for me.
So my family, well, from my dad's side, my family don't go grey at all. So my nana had brown hair when she died, and my dad only just started getting grey hair, and he's 78. And the thing is, that's lovely and everything, but it's sort of like free shoes for someone with no feet in my case, because it's like you won't go grey. And it's like, you don't have any hair though. What am I supposed to? But my beard will stay luscious and fiery until my grave.
And that's what you want. And you've got a lovely, may I say, a wonderful head.
Oh, thanks, Mike. Cheers.
It's I find it. I've shaved my head and I went, oh no, that's not right. That doesn't look. That's a very weird shape. I look like those guys from Battle Beneath the Planet of the Apes,
guarding the missile.
When they take their skin off, you're like, that's good. No, you just need to cover that shit back up. So
sometimes if I'm wearing a shirt like this from behind, it looks like someone holding up a Frankfurter behind a curtain. And I smell of brine. It's my aftershave. I have a tin of hot dogs.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry and horny.
Brine and Oakwood Smokehouse.
Yes, indeed. Prince's. It's I have a tin opener on my dresser and just pop that open, get a bit of Prince's brine.
Those Frankfurters with their weird little urethra hole at the end always used to bother me a little
That
bit.
kind of little sphincter at the end.
It's like a tiny sphincter urethra crossbreed, and it's just like it's not right.
A
Or is it?
urincter, if you
Or is
like.
Or is it very right?
Well, you know,
It's so wrong. It's
I think
right.
I don't even think
Exactly.
that's kind of like built into the product. I think it just contains so many arseholes that it just naturally forms at either end.
They're formed from what they find in the chimp enclosure.
Oh, God. Outside Vin Diesel's
It's,
house.
It's like-
it's what happens when you
Yeah.
invert your cock and balls and anus. That's what happens.
Right.
It's
yes.
it's easily done.
The double inversion. It happens.
It's easily done, which is something they don't do in the Olympics anymore. They
Right.
don't go for the double inversion. It's been banned, and quite
I
right.
don't know.
Yeah, I think it's the only sensible approach. You just have to ban the double inversion. It's the only way to handle
Let's
it.
not get political.
yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Let's
Look, let's not. You know, we don't do that on this channel. We don't want to be that place. You know,
We are
whatever your opinions about double inversion are, and split diopters, you can have them and you can talk about them, but you do it politely. It's my split
Absolutely.
diopter.
Cheers.
This film. This film needs a split
Split
diopter.
diopter.
Yeah, split diopter.
Yeah.
I always, the bomb disposal suits that exist and are a thing. I do often wonder. Yeah, I mean, how survivable is a thing even in one of those? Because I don't know what.
Yeah, I can't imagine if you're like at the epicenter of a
It
blast.
just sort of goes. Is that just so there's less to sweep up? It's
Is that just so you feel better about being closer to it?
well, we've got a carrier bag full of guts instead of them being on the ceiling. what you don't see is they've got carry handles on the back. You just zip it up and carry them out at the end, sloshing about inside. I will say Travolta does a very good job as Castor Troy. I really like his nuttiness because Cage is the one who's supposed to dial it down, but still starts off by being mental. Whereas Travolta has to then live up to the madness of Nick Cage.
Thing is, this is his great ploy. Is like they're going to think I'm the hero who saved the city. Yeah, if they don't ask any questions whatsoever, like how did you defuse the bomb? Because then he's got to go. I put the code in. And like, well, how did you know the code?
Guessed.
It's two questions away from.
Or ask him literally anything about procedure, or something they did 4 days
Or
ago.
where his parking space is.
Yeah, just like shit.
What's his favourite coffee mug?
Yeah,
So-
Someone asked him for a cup of tea, and he asked for something completely different.
I like that when he's on TV as well. It's lit like an aftershave advert when he gives that interview. It's sort of like,
Sorry.
it's like what is that? Anamorphic news? Like what channel is that?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
AM.
AM news.
There he is. Oh,
Which
it's
doesn't, it wouldn't anamorphic. AN.
It's owned by a
news.
mogul called Anamorphic. Just by coincidence. I met a girl called Anamorphic. She was very wide.
Oh,
It's a body shaming thing. Well, what I decompressed her in software, she'll be back to normal size. What does it even mean? What's it even... The process is called de-squeezing. It is, but it's just that's an incredibly niche joke that's inner workings don't exist. It's not a load-bearing joke. It doesn't make any sense.
It really
I just
is.
managed to hang all these things over a pun. This is a problem. This is why people say to me, Richard, you go too far. You always take it too far. They just drill down into that bedrock of beyond not funny to boring. There you go.
boring, another word for drill, of course.
Oh, yes, of
so
course.
it's this full circle of life there
Yes,
for you.
indeed.
It's
It's
lovely.
one for the
Lovely.
Lion King fans.
One for the Lion King fans.
It's just a bit of casual sexual assault. There.
Yep. Yeah.
What? Where? Oh, yeah. Ooh.
And then it's just like, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's so nice. He's really turned the corner, isn't he? He's really good fun
He got
now."
that bomb, he
And he like,
did.
grabs her up.
I'm a perv now.
Yeah, I'm an office
Anybody
perv.
hungry for two
Oh, I guess it's all
lobsters?
good.
Dinner's ready.
What's better than one lobster? Two.
You're
lobsters.
eating lobster?
Yeah, young you.
You've been to space?
Sure, you've never been.
This absolutely needs to have elements of the Frank Grimes story in it.
Yeah.
It was
It's this shit about lighting loads of candles. It's like I'm sure there are people out there who have done that for their significant others, but frankly,
Oh, come on.
I mean, we've got LEDs now.
It's like there's been a power cut, isn't it? Basically.
It's not the war. You put tape on the windows as well, you mad cunt. I'm not expecting the Luftwaffe.
How many have they lit? I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's seven in the background. I can see from one shot. 9, 10, 11, 12. It's 12.
Castor Troy.
Looks like it's hot.
It does,
but then it is supposed to look like hell, isn't it? I guess.
So Woo loves. I mean, this is a very John Woo thing. He loves candles. Like, it's something he does a lot, and flames. It's real, But in
hell,
look at the back. Look at it.
Unbelievable.
She looks framed as though she's in the pit of hell, right? Because there's fire all around. So I guess that kind of.
He does that kind of stuff.
I mean, hell is known to be hot and very romantic.
It's sexy. It's so sexy. That's what they don't tell you.
Because it's seductive, though, isn't it? It's like he's got a devil, like he's sitting there quaffing wine and.
Do you mean he's the devil in disguise?
He took the devil's face. Wait, Jesus' face off.
There's
off.
Yeah, that's where it falls apart. Because I remember the devil slapping God's face on his. But then I suppose, no, he does, doesn't he? Because isn't that the thing of like where he makes the world think he doesn't exist, and he does wear many faces and stuff. It kind of works. Yeah, it kind of works.
Are we going to use the same allegory in Bum Off?
Yes, I think so. One of the bums is going to be bright red. It's going to be a really red, shiny devil's bum.
And have a little goatee beard sticking out.
Yeah, and they're going to do the surgery with like a trident, a hot trident to cauterize the bum off. Do you know what I'm looking forward to? Is when they bring out the transparent plastic bum molds to put on their pelvis. Also, these are the boots from that prison episode of Red Dwarf. It's the same. It's the same thing.
Oh,
also, the ones from Event Horizon, aren't they magnetic?
Oh, they magnetise the floor. Yeah. Hey, Castor never sat down like that. Let me see your bum. Oh no, it's it's his bum, all right.
It's bright red.
So,
these are fake asses.
Sorry, Castor, I thought that wasn't your bum. Also, Americans saying bum instead of butt is highly important for Bum Off. I think it's going to make it different from all the other bum transplant films that come out that year. It's going to be a lot of them. There's going to be, a deep impact at our Armageddon. Let's face it, and we need to be ahead of the bum transplant curve.
Deep impacted.
Deep impacted. That started out as an Elvis biopic.
It just became a public service piece about eating more rugby.
or roufage. I'm homaging the French New Wave. Oh yeah, I love it. It's even a kind of a futuristic electric chair, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just casually having his brain scrambled.
There's a bit of vom down his front. I don't know how it got past that chin guard though.
This is great, good stuff.
You get. I do like those. It's always with the same one, the movie electric chair, the big silver one. It's cool.
Yeah, it's very Demolition Man.
Demolition Man, yeah. And I think in Starship Troopers, do they not have Ed Nimoy? Oh no, they hang Ed Nimoy, don't they? They don't electrocute him, or they're going to hang him, I think.
Go on, bite down. Oh, he's smoking a cigarette.
They love to give him a cigarette before they lobotomise you with lecky. Why take the boots off? Maybe it'd stop all the lecky.
Because magnets and electricity or something.
Make your face on. He was that close to having his face on.
You just happen to be a person with a transplanted face. You can't have magnetic boots on whilst your brain's being electrocuted.
Presumably.
They have to take... It's health and safety.
Right. You can't do anything these days. I look up with throw you in jail. In Bum Off, obviously, they're gonna have to put a chip up their bums so it sounds like the other person's bum. Of course.
I tried that once and I was thrown out of the restaurant.
That's why you're no longer welcome in Hunstanton.
Probably comes with a large degree of risk for burns.
Right. Yeah.
I think so. It's probably, but yeah.
Anyway, there's a scene at the end where John Travolta has to kind of press on his anus and fart in front of his wife so she can tell who is the correct person.
He runs his hand down his bum or her bum.
I'm your dad.
I guess you are.
And then he runs his hand down his wife's bum and he goes, Chief, that's right.
Smash cut to credits.
Rips her face off. Like sort of Mission Impossible style. He
Yeah.
goes, that's right.
Just the
It's
bum off.
me, the chief.
John Travolta will return in bums off.
The bummening.
We've had a quite substantial super chat, and I really hope that James Morgan is getting his money's worth.
I'm sorry, James.
So sorry, James. Thank you very much. A very, very generous gift of $14.99. Evening, gents. Hope you're well. Very happy to see Mike return again. There you go, Mike. One for you. One for you.
Hey,
James. So thank you so much,
James.
Hmm.
That's very kind. Thank you very much. Now back to the bummening.
Back to the bum.
How's this going to work?
Oh.
The climactic space hopper chase from Bum Off. Which... well, John Travolta, John Woo improvised the space hopper chase when he saw space hoppers.
Guys, we've got to move on this. I just see they've greenlit the Fart and the Furious.
Right. Oh God, part 9.
Oh, God.
Yeah, come on. We've got to get on that.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I wasn't ready, Mike. I just wasn't ready. I'm too busy flinging out these amazing ideas, you know.
Fart and the Furious is coming
We're
up.
the Hit Factory, boys. That's us.
We are the Hit Factory.
See, I rose above it. I'm better than that. I'm not. I'm absolutely not. No one. There's no way anyone would ever describe me like that. But well, look, Mike. We made a movie together now. You know what you're in for.
Yeah.
As
As
as do you. So I am so sorry about that.
That's okay. It's fine.
But
That's fine.
get a superior room in a Travelodge, and I will not forget that.
There you go. And some souvlaki. Twice, I think. Did we have souvlaki twice? I can't remember.
Double souvlaki. Nothing wrong with that.
Cambridge does good souvlaki. We've got a low key, really good Greek foods scene here for some reason, which I will not question.
Motorbikes and Greek food.
Motorbikes and Greek food.
delivering the Greek food, obviously.
I had Brexit negotiations with my ex-girlfriend of 7 years in one of the Greek restaurants in Cambridge, and it was so good that I still go back in there.
Is that a euphemism?
No, I'm just saying it was quite a traumatic experience, but I really liked the food.
Oh, no.
So and it's a £5 for Slovakian chips at lunchtime. Brilliant.
This is
Yeah, that's it.
coming up is a really great stunt here, because there's that shot, isn't there? There's a helicopter come up behind him, and he runs, and you get that top-down shot of the stuntman just running off the end of the thing.
This is the thing, man.
It's
John
really
Woo. I mean, it's full of it's like dude with an afro instead of Nicolas Cage. But yeah, John Woo, man. That's the great little thing there. You see the guns firing, and then you see where those bullets went, and you get nice. And not in a, I know most action directors do that, but does it in a really precise, kind of surgical way. I think scene geography is one of his huge strengths. And I just find the way he covers action there's so much dynamism to it. I just find it so exciting. I think the first time I saw Hard Boiled, and it was like I was like, I'd watched so many Western action movies, but I'd never seen anything like it. It was just like, holy fuck, what is going on? And there's that scene in the middle in the warehouse which finishes and then starts up again and just does another, like, instead of being 20 minutes later, that action scene wraps up and then they just do another one in the same location. It's fantastic. It's really amazing. Yeah, so I always go into bat for that, and I always liked his high frame rate stuff as well. Slow motion, but tons and tons and tons of overcranked stuff, as it was once called.
And that's why we deliberately shied away from that in the movie that we did, just because it's been done so much.
It's true. Yeah, I did. I storyboarded a scene where you were going to jump over a motorbike and shoot at Duncan with double pistols, but.
I would have loved to have seen there, just like as he goes below the surface, just this arse come up and float on top.
Definitely, that's what we'll do in ours. It's fine. We've already got that logged.
Special mention to Champagne 78, who says "Bum Off" is directed by John Poo.
Nice.
I mean, why not?
Timothy Rooney. Oh,
good.
good old Tim Rooney says, "I'm a scat man" will be Fart Off's theme song. Yes, lots of good contributions.
It's such a bizarre song when you think about it. I mean, I'm sure that I don't. Not that I know the song terribly well, but what a thing to proclaim.
Big hit in Germany.
Ich bin ein Skat.
As Scatman John once said, "Skibby dibby bibby bob bad at boop, bop bad at boop, skibby dibby dibby bob bad at boop, bop bad at boop." And in a lot of ways, that's still true today.
It's worse.
Rob Lowe's character in Californication, because he's like this like supposedly very famous but highly pretentious actor, and then there's this thing that comes out later, and he's like, he poops on people. It's a base. He just goes, and he goes, skilly dab deep dab deep bap bap poop poop. It's just like
scat is one of those things, one of those sad things where it's a long-standing, legitimate thing that's been called that forever, and at some point it intersected with a gross fetish, and now, there was a time where Scatman John went, I love scat, I do scat all day, I'm always scatting, I scat at home, I scat to my wife, I'm called John, I'm a man, I'll call myself Scatman John and that's fine. And then, the internet ruined everything, and now it just sounds rude. Poor Scatman John died at the peak of his fame, did you know that? He was very ill. He was hugely successful in Japan, had a huge career in Japan, we never really got much truck in the States, and when he found chart success, he became quite ill with cancer, I think, and passed away. It's very sad. Skibby dibby dibby bob bad at boop. Bob bad at boop.
Bob bad at
Dan Lyle says, I prefer Space Doc Steve.
Dirty.
Good space docking reference. Love a space docking. We our little kind of group that made films together at uni called our, because everyone would put a fake production company thing on the front of their films, and we called our space dockers, and it just said space dockers, and it would show a picture of an astronaut that we found a stock picture of an astronaut, and nobody kind of got it, but we would sit in the screening room going tee hee hee hee, and that was easily the best thing in anything we made. Was that the rest of it was all downhill from that stock photo of an astronaut.
This is good stuff. I think Deep Impacted, our movie that we're going to make, our disaster movie, and it's going to be an asteroid.
Right, of course, yes, yeah, propelled by the gases of space, of course.
Exactly, and we've got to what we've got to do is we've got to get astronauts. No, we've got to get the best. We've got to get the best proctologists and teach them to be astronauts.
They're going to go up there with a giant endoscope and shove it.
Yeah. And there's going to be a whole scene where they talk to the astronauts who've been training, telling them how they've been arranging their colonoscopy wrong, their ostroscopy wrong, and that's why they're sending.
They've got to get, before it reaches the zero barrier. They have to give it a what do they call it? Fucking hell. Was it colon cleansing?
An enema.
An enema.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They have to drain the world's oceans.
They have to deliver a nuclear enema.
Luckily, the world's oceans are already brine, so it's chemically the right formula to send it up in a spaceship. Send it up in Vin Diesel's riveted penis. It's the only thing with enough volume to hold the world's ocean, and pump it up an asteroid.
He calls it the Iron Giant.
And Jeff Bezos has built that.
Jeff Bezos unironically went in a spaceship that looked like a dong. Wow, okay.
Did he? Was it inadvertently though?
That's because it is the one from Austin Powers, isn't it? It was the spaceship from Austin Powers.
I think he got very high a long time ago, made a bet, and he's won even more money.
Right? Yeah. Well, if I was a billionaire, I'd probably go to space in a giant willy. But there you go.
I mean,
like I do in my dreams every night.
So that's good. Yes, space enemas. We've got to get on that, guys. That's important.
That's the big stuff. This is where he does drugs with his pals. Yeah, illegal cocaine.
What?
Illicit
Colombian style coked cane.
Peruvian flake.
Just enjoying some Peruvian flake. We put it up our asses here because we're criminals or whatever. Here's your child pornography and other criminal stuff. I love, because what I like about this scene is that they have to go, okay, be a criminal now so we can see that you're real, but we're not going to say that, just do all the drugs and child pornography.
I want to take his face off.
Off.
Fucking trailer moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Lex Luthor buddy in the outrageous jacket.
Yeah.
His
Or Richard
hair
O'Brien.
is extraordinary in this.
Cage.
Cage, yeah, it's like a hat.
It is like a kind of
It's like
Lego piece, isn't it?
It's a skull. It's a skull cap, isn't it?
It is odd. It's kind of because he's another one who's had a transplant done, hasn't he? Now, because he's suddenly rocking this kind of filled out, whatever. They do look good when that gets done. But this kind of group of people who you've just seen, like Simon Pegg had a widow's peak forever, and then suddenly he's in Mission Impossible and his hairline's like here, and it's like, okay, right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's totally, because he got really fucking jacked for a thing as well. He did that. He's so fucking Hollywood, Simon Pegg. He's had.
I would be too.
Yeah, well,
man.
he's had
Fuck
a successful old career, so whatever. But yeah, do you know, because fucking Jason Alexander, from Seinfeld and many other things, he wears like, those kind of they do those toupees that they glue onto you that you wear for like 6 months at a time. Because he goes on chat shows, he's kind of like, yeah, I'm totally bald, but if I don't do this, I won't get cast anything. So I have to have this, like, or I find it
really.
He was like, I find it really hard to get cast. Even though he's Jason Alexander, he was on Seinfeld for years, did tons of stuff. He was just like, yeah, if I don't have this, and he never pretends that isn't the case. He just says, if I don't have it, like, casting agents won't put me forward for stuff I want, so I have to do this. It's really, that's just kind of like, fair fucking play, man. I always think that kind of the glued on, the glue, because that's what Shatner supposedly had for a long time. Like, that feels uncomfortable to me. The idea of glue on your head for.
My father had a toupee like that in the 70s, and this is before. Well, I can't remember, but my sister used to think there was something wrong with her hair because she couldn't feel the same thing she would feel under my father's hair when she's fingers in it. She's like, where's
the weave? Where's the matrix underneath my hair?
Yeah, what's wrong with me? Yeah, I love that.
My dad told me when my dad was I think my dad was best man at my his brother's wedding, and my dad that was the 60s, I think, and my dad just could not grow sideburns. He was in his 20s. He just absolutely could not grow sideburns at all. And this barber he went to before the wedding said, like, "Oh, I'll give you some sideburns," and he sold him stick-on sideburns and glued them on him. And my dad, bless him, walked up to my uncle, and my uncle just went, no, absolutely not, and made him take them off.
Oh,
so it's quite cute. And there's a picture of them at my uncle's wedding, and my dad looking distinctly unsideburned, having been flogged with glue on,
but with incredibly thick eyebrows,
like Bert and Ernie style, just monobrow. It's getting his money's worth from the stick-on burns. Imagine that you're a barber with, like, I'd imagine it'd be like, those things with like the scampi fry stuck on at the pub. He's just got like a thing mounted on the wall that he just goes pulls them off, a little colour chart to match you up.
Do you want the Elvis? Do you want the Lennon?
The Elvis, the Lennon, do you want the full chop? What are we saying?
Yeah. What are you gonna do here? What are you doing? Oh, that's really sweet. What an enterprising barber.
Well, there was that time when barbers used to just sell you condoms, stick-on sideburns, Valium. Like, I don't know what.
I mean, I want to know where he got the hair from to make them.
The floor. I imagine he just went home and had his wife weave them from floor cuttings. Separate. The children would separate the colours.
Do you think under the counter there's a drawer of merkins?
Merkins, sir. It's just men, barbers filled up with men.
Have you had a bum transplant? Does it need dressing?
The unmistakable scars of a bum transplant.
Cover those unsightly scars with a merkin, hewn from the hair of Hollywood's hirsute.
Oh, here's a great one from TM2YC. So I think this might.
We're still getting through Robin Williams.
Yes, bless him. His contribution.
Oh.
Anthony Ainley, who I'm sure you'll know of, Mike, who was the master in 80s Doctor Who. TM2YC says, Anthony Ainley insisted the Doctor Who makeup people fitted a wig over his toupee, like he thought they didn't know.
That's amazing. That's so accommodating of them as well.
Bless
All
him,
right.
like, yeah, fine. And it's not as if, like, I don't imagine anyone's job was particularly secure on 80s Doctor Who either.
I think they're probably scared they were going to get hit with the shrink ray. And they thought, okay, we better-
yeah. What is it? The matter impactor or something? I can't remember what he calls it.
Well, deep impacted.
Deep
It's gonna be
impacted.
the same thing. We need to get that matter impactor right up there.
Oh yeah, this is where Travolta. See, this is good Travolta doing Crazy Cage, where he beats up the boyfriend. The douchebag boyfriend.
Would you say like dress up like ghouls and dress up like Halloween and ghouls will try and get in your pants?
Right.
That's terrible and weird advice. That's so confusing.
So is that good? Like, what are we saying?
I'm not sure what that means, you freak. Just tell me not to go out.
Ian McGar says, this is like my ex's dad when he saw me kissing his daughter on the porch one night. He got caged, Ian got caged. Got Travolta caged one night.
Travolta
caged one night.
A roll cage.
Roll cage.
Roll cage.
I'm a cool dad. He gives her the flick knife, doesn't he? Which she ironically uses on him. Dun, 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 dun.
And isn't it ironic?
Don't you think? Enema.
I did sort of go down this insanely crazy. Like that song was on the radio the other day. Well, I think we were coming back from London in the torrential rain.
Oh yeah.
And none of the obviously this is none of the scenarios that are described in that song, of course, are ironic. But is that supposed to be the irony?
Oh, there's a larger irony.
Is there a
at work.
fourth level?
No.
I no. I mean, I don't know. Alanis Morissette could get out of jail with that if she ever was so inclined.
Yeah, do you know what? Maybe she did. You're right. Maybe she did. She's very smart and she's an excellent writer. She's done very well.
I in no way ever thought she was a. This is the thing with all that stuff. People go down ironic. Like she never comes off as a dumb lady. I don't think anyway.
No. I quite like her. I quite like her music. But yeah,
it's the 4D chess, isn't it? It's the next level, the meta game.
Yeah.
Get away from me, Gina. I really like Gina Gershon. I think she's great, and she's good in this as well. She's just someone who's.
Yeah, she's someone who sort of just disappeared off the radar after the sort of
she did a big extended villain turn on Brooklyn Nine-Nine a couple of seasons ago, and it was really great because they do that. They had like Eric Roberts. They tend to bring in kind of character actors to do big long turns sometimes, and her one was the villain of one season. She was fucking great in it as well. It's just nice. So it was a bit like, fuck, it's Gina Gershon. That's cool. And she's exactly the person to play because she's done so much cops and robbers stuff before. Someone I got a lot of time for.
We've got another nice suggestion from I am Snorlax for our movie Enema of the State.
Enema of the State. Fantastic. Yeah, very good.
I like that. Very nice. Good. Yeah, I think I enjoyed that one. These tiny glasses that guy's wearing. Evil glasses.
Yeah, he's got that kind of like...
Goebbels glasses.
Yeah.
It's like you were trying to be Goebbels, but you ended up crashing into John Lennon. It's,
Yeah.
I love it. We watched Enemy of the State the other day, and although the technology has obviously not aged well, that film's still really great.
Yes.
And obviously that Hackman is incredible in that. Gene Hackman's probably, when people say who's your favourite actor, I do think Gene Hackman's got to be up there, and because he's not really talked about much anymore in those sort of circles, but he is one of the greats.
I think because he's kind of like gone into he's retired, isn't he? And I think he's just
properly. Yeah. I saw a picture of him from some recent thing where he was signing someone's autograph in a restaurant or something, and he looks so
yes,
old,
bless him. He does. Yeah, he's. Well, Enemy of the State is such a good cast. I've never seen Enemy of the State, by the way, but no, I know. I could have watched it on a ferry to France when I was going there for school in year 8, but I didn't. I've been able to.
And that's it. That's the only chance you got, and that was.
Well, Will Smith was there, and he said,
"You can." I'm not seeing it anywhere.
You can't. I'm afraid this is your one. If you watch this anytime apart from now, we will find you and we will fucking murder you. Your bum will fall off. And the transplant technology doesn't exist outside of fiction, so you won't be able to sit down. You won't be able to
Bumless.
poo. You won't be able to slap
No
it when
farting.
you're bored.
Farting, your one joy.
Yes, yeah. Well, the only thing I was ever any good
What
at.
skill?
But
Your one skill.
Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say.
I have
That's
a
how
particular
badly
set of
this is
skills.
baby. I've got some baby brain.
when you
Going on.
first came back on the streams after your daughter was born, there were times before the stream where like you didn't know where you were. He was so tired, dude. He was so tired, and you were just kind of like, you'd be like, "What film is this?" And it'd be like a film. It's a film that like you'd watched and stuff. And it'd be like, "Yeah, man, we're watching this. It's all good." It's just like, "Oh my god, you poor bastard."
It's called Star Wars.
Star Wars, yeah, it's called Star Wars.
No.
What's it about?
And that was even because
What's that bear doing?
that dog
Does the
man.
bear love the man?
The bear loved the man.
The bear does love the man very much.
Why has that
Aw.
robot got a glow stick? I don't know what's going on. Oh, I just channel recommendation completely randomly. There's a channel called The Discarded Image, which is run by a guy called Julian that I used to go to. He was in my class at uni in Southampton 15, 16 years ago. And the Discarded Image is very kind of, it's kind of the opposite of this channel. It's nicely kind of high-minded film analysis, and Julian's very, very good. He was always a very smart guy, and he just did a video on Blow Up, which had just gone up. It was a really interesting vid, and he's done a few things like that. They're really nice, really good, kind of thorough film essays. And they did one on, oh Christ, I can't remember what they did. So he does it with I think Alex, who was also our buddy from uni, did it as well, and I think that he contributes writing and stuff. He did one that went viral because it's on the AV Club, so that channel's got quite a lot of track now. And I did have a little chat to Julian on DMs a little while ago just to say hi, and I recommend checking it out. Really good kind of interesting sort of academic film analysis. Very, very good. It's called The Discarded Image, and his video on Blow Up was really, really good.
How many fart noises do they do in there?
But it's all conveyed through fart noises. Yeah,
excellent. That's good. I mean,
because Blow Up's about farts, right?
sure.
There's certain things you can only intonate through.
I mean, that setup was sick.
They really are, and it's a lost art.
It is.
Well, it's yes. I mean, and it's something that I think that the Tibetan monks of Tibet.
The Tibetan monks of Tibet.
Really understood.
A lot of experimental musicians have studied Mongolian are singing.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
And that's
circular farting. It's an extraordinary thing.
So I just looked. Julian Palmer over there he's on 91,000 subs. This is really rocketed up. Fucking good for him, man. It's all so grown up. I love it. It's just complete opposite of what me and Duncan could do. And Julian and I had the same education, and you can see how I squandered mine. And Julian has archly capitalised on his. But yeah, if you did get a chance, go check that out. Anyway,
that's one of those film things, right? Where you got two people. So there's police on the roof of the building opposite, indiscriminately, it must be said, firing into a building, and But it's like the bit, when he goes, "Damn, my place is getting fucked up," and then John Travolta laughs about that from the roof, and it's like he can't hear that. He's miles away, and there's gunfire going on. And it's like he's not going to go. It's like, and they do that a lot in films where it's kind of like somehow someone miles away can sort of.
Yeah, and it's selective, isn't it? Because quite often there'll be a different carnage that no one notices.
They do there's a nice little gag in the movie Shazam where that's addressed, and it's quite
Shazam was great.
Yeah,
he's like, what? I can't hear you.
Yeah, monologuing away.
So, I really like that film, and that did not get. I think that should have got talked about in the same.
It's getting a sequel. Which do you know what?
His heart was in the
It's
right
like
place.
a kind of kids Deadpool, isn't it? Without the kind of
not even that. Like I think it did have some more sort of adults, but it's just tonally different.
Yeah, but it's doing the kind of I think it had that kind of cheekiness, it had that energy. Because I thought it was brilliant, man. I really,
I did.
I really, really enjoyed it. David Sandberg don't know if you know, but the director of that, David Sandberg, has a. Do you watch his YouTube channel where he's Pony Smasher?
No.
Oh man, he's a really, really interesting guy. He's called Pony Smasher on YouTube. He's got quite a popular YouTube channel, and he's for quite some time just does filmmaking tips. He's kind of like, hey, you don't have a dolly? Well, look, I used to make this one out of these plastic tubes and these roller skate wheels. You can do it for $25, or like, if you don't have a slider, put your camera on a box, tie it down tight, and just drag a bit of carpet underneath it, and you'll get the same, all those kind of stuff. Because he was doing horror movies and stuff, and then he got Shazam, which was this huge deal. So again, another great channel, David F. Sandberg's channel. He's I'm a big fan of his. He's just an honest dude, like it seems.
Did he not, Sandberg, direct that terrifying short Lights Out?
I think he did do Lights Out. Yeah, he's done a few shorts.
Fuck, I mean that worried me quite a lot after I watched that.
Well, that's the thing, because Shazam, he's a horror guy, and Shazam is this lovely, wholesome kind of family-orientated. Also, that wasn't afraid to throw in the kitchen sink. They just went completely nuts and had the whole Shazam family and stuff by the end and everything. And it was like, oh my god, this is great,
beautiful.
Yeah,
it's really nice. And I seem to remember there's a great scene with the sort of, I don't know what the creatures are called, but they eat a room of people, and it's really quite horrible. There are definite horror beats. Not quite the same, because obviously I think Sam Raimi's phenomenal, and the Dr. Octopus waking up on the operating table, or the tentacles.
That's
that's so good. That's John Landis is one of the doctor that gets chainsawed. I think one of the doctors is John Landis.
Really?
Yeah. Well, hey, look, I do hope that Sam Raimi does end up directing Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness as he's supposed to, and that's not fucked around with. Those are probably quite high hopes on both counts, but because Raimi's not done anything fucking ages, he did stuff for Quibi, and he did the Evil Dead. He produces stuff like crazy. Someone we know has had a script across Sam Raimi's desk, but I probably shouldn't. I'll tell you off air because I shouldn't really be. Yeah.
No, I know who you mean, I think.
Is it Bum Off?
It's Bum Off, yeah. It's deep impacted.
Well, I mean, I think the scene that we wrote where the bum wakes up when they're on the operating table, it kills everybody in...
Yeah.
It just kind of does that.
Well, don't remember, it does have very skinny little arms and legs like a Poddington pea. And every time you describe it, you should say like a Poddington pea, just so people know what...
Like a Poddington pea.
They have to be very skinny arms and legs like a Poddington pea.
Smothering them to death and crushing them.
That's where I derive the horror, particularly the bum clasps someone's face and then they're dragged out of shot and you just hear oh shit.
And they don't die of asphyxiation, they die by choking on their own vomit.
Has Brad showed you that short, The Procedure?
No.
Oh my fucking Christ. Right, everybody find a short called The Procedure and watch it. Oh my god. And you two, when we get off air, it's like 4 minutes long, I think. We have to watch The Procedure together. Because Brad, I was at Pricey's a while ago, and Brad was there, and he was like, "Oh, and it won awards and stuff." He was like, "Have you seen The Procedure?" And we were like, "No." And he puts it on, and it's this weirdly mysterious kind of, and then, well, I cannot go any further. I'm not going to tell you anymore. Yeah, it's very on brand for Val Verde Broadcasting, is all I'm going to say. Yeah.
A lot of sliding and shooting.
Well, they do the thing with the mirrors,
guys.
right? They do the thing with the mirrors. There's a nice bit of visual storytelling there. It's like looking at my own face, except it's not my own face. It's like looking through glass, but it's not glass because it's a mirror. But if it wasn't a mirror and our faces were still on it, it'd be like looking through glass.
And they're in like a room of mirrors for some fun.
Yeah, he's got a mirror.
It's exciting, but I've got to say, every time I see any movie and they go into a room of mirrors, I do go, come on. Don't do that. We've
been there. Also,
yeah, but this is good.
Like now, from a practical sense, it's a massive headache. Now, you can do things digitally. So there's those bits in Black Swan where Aronofsky does the thing against the Bally mirror, and obviously the camera operator's not there, and it's all very
the
clever.
Same in Inception, isn't there? There's the thing when they're walking through the dreamscape and he just starts closing her in with mirrors, right. And there's no camera up there. But you can just digitally remove the camera.
Yeah, well, because in our film, Mike had to take his glasses off because I didn't have a CPL and I didn't want to go through the nightmare of having reflection in your fucking glasses all the time. And it's like, oh yeah, just take them out digitally. It's kind of like, yeah, I'm doing enough digitally. I got enough to do digitally, thanks. On our very, economically financed film, let's say.
I think I love it watching old films and things where you do see the camera sometimes reflected because you kind of go, "Hi." I like it. It's quite nice to see it. Hiya. It's nice to see him there.
Hey,
It's nice. I like that stuff.
It's me face on the camera.
Oh, hiya. FBI's in. Someone's doing. Oh, guys, don't scratch your head with your finger on the trigger. Oh, that's
bad, is it?
It's bad. Poor gun discipline.
That's it.
It is very
Bad
poor
gun
gun
discipline.
discipline.
Don't shoot an FBI man in the head. That's even worse.
That is very poor gun discipline.
Well, it's also very poor undercover discipline as well. 'Cause once again, if they weren't already gunning for you because you've been, I don't know, parking your car next to next to the fire brigade, or fire service or whatever, and you don't understand anything about policing, and you somehow disarmed a bomb that only one man had the code to, and now you've just shot an FBI agent in the face.
Yeah, it's not really.
Questions. They can ask questions.
This is.
Yeah.
You can trace this back in John Woo stuff because the point in Hard Boiled is about an undercover cop who's gone too deep and stuff like that, and this is kind of like that. It has the kind of undercover rest of it, and he loves those kind of like convoluted kind of noiry undercover plots, and it is that. It definitely has that, but again, it also sort of feels like something someone came up with the name of first, like a Viz strip.
Talk about undercover cops getting lost in things. Have you seen the movie ID?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. With the great that guy.
Well, you got Sean Pertwee, but Reece Dinsdale.
Thank you.
He's
phenomenal. He's a phenomenal actor, man. And he's in Threads as well. He's in that first act of Threads.
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal actor.
Oh my God.
He's great. He's great value on Twitter. He's very open. He chats to people and stuff.
I follow him. Yeah, he's great. He's directing.
He is, isn't he? He did Emmerdale and a bunch of other TV. Like Dinsdale's a fucking dude, man.
He is. Threads is. I was talking to Pricey about Threads. He's been watching that quite a lot.
We had a chat, because oddly enough, because I got there's a special Threads Blu-ray because it was shot open matte, so they're remasters in 16:9. So they negative stuff, and there's loads of features. So the Blu-ray for Threads is great. Mark wanted to watch Threads. He put Threads into YouTube. First video that comes up, Val Verde Broadcasting, motherfuckers. So Mark just happened to was like, and then he texted me going like, "Oh, I was fucking got into Threads, and I saw you guys did a vid." And I was like, "Yeah, man, we did."
Gosh,
Rob,
that's
sorry.
Go on.
Rob Myers, who is handling the VFX for our short, says he should have got a scan of Mike's face, and I could do a Henry Cavill on the glasses. So he could have. There you go.
Like put a moustache on and take it off there.
You would just have a top lip. Over yes.
Henry
I
Cavill.
would love that so much.
A septum. Just a septum.
I would love to have Henry Cavill's top lip across my eyes. Oh yeah.
Wouldn't we all, dear? Or as I Am Snorlax suggests, just print out a photo, cut out the eyes, and glue them onto his glasses.
Hey, well, that's done. That's low budget filmmaking,
2D.
right there.
It's what the thing is there, right? Obviously, Mike and Duncan both had their knew the script, had it all down, which facilitated the schedule and stuff. Yep. When you have glasses and go, I'll take the glasses off. That's all good. When you go to like a corporate shoot and the talent wears glasses and there's an auto cue, it's absolutely not. And there is no discussion. It's just kind of like, yep, I'm going to have to light this. But the good thing with that is it's usually interviews, so it's just like you go, fine, I'm going to have to light this in a slightly awkward way. Because the stuff I did, the live broadcast I did the other week, people kept turning up in glasses. We had like 4 fucking sources of light, and it's like, oh.
How dare you? How dare you have bad eyesight, you selfish fuck.
Some of us have conditions that mean you have to wear contact lenses which don't reflect. Some of us have the decency to have completely fucked eyes. Which is
Not all heroes wear capes, but they do wear
contact lenses. Rob says
with
I
capes on.
always wanted to wear glasses. Does that count?
yeah, sure,
You
why not?
can
You can get on board.
Yeah. Well, we could play cops, and I wear glasses and you don't, and then we change glasses.
I like that.
Huh?
I think you got confused. You mean change arses?
Right.
I did that.
Glasses.
This
Yes.
is what we're going
Sounded similar.
Glasses and glasses.
for. Yeah. Glass off.
What is it? Rob Myers said you would just have a blurry spot with someone else's eyes. This is horrifying. horrifying prospect. Did you know about this thing
that.
there's a feature in Photoshop now where, you know, these kind of apps you get that put smiles and stuff on people's faces? It's that technology, but there's a feature in Photoshop where it's a slider where if someone in the photo isn't smiling, you can make them smile. And you can make their eyes open and stuff, and it's like, dance for me, digital monkey. So, like, if you've got your, because
that's all this like face replacement.
Quite well, like, you know, I know a bunch of photographers, and it's been the case. You know, people have been editing photos digitally for years now, and it's very often the case when you take the whole group photo, you do it like 5 times, and then all the people that are blinked, you essentially harvest their eyes from the other takes and or faces or smiles from the other takes and plonk them onto your master photograph for the final edit. But that requires that person sits and works through that process. Where now there's a slider that says "Smile, cunt." You just dial up because your Auntie Mildred's a moody old bitch or whatever.
You reminded me of my last headshot session. That's exactly what photographer said to me.
Smile, cunt.
I'm struggling to get a headshot photographer at the moment. All the ones I've written to either haven't got back to me or have come back and gone. One came back and said, I don't work with a lot of actors, so as you can understand, I'm very busy, so I can't help you. And then proceeded to like put a load of headshots on his Instagram and stuff. And I'm like,
well, who are you doing headshot? Oh, corporate. But why wouldn't you?
I don't know. I was just like, what? He's a very sort of, he's a photographer. Like,
I mean, I could probably do it. Okay, probably not to the standard of somebody you paid, but I could probably do it. I could do decent.
I don't mind paying. Like, I wanted to work with one who's like really up, you know, because I thought I've always had to do them on cheap. Simon does good headshots. Might be worth asking. Yeah, he does corporates mostly, but yeah, he's you know, as much as I hate to admit it, he might be. As much as I hate to admit it, he's a really good photographer. He might be a cunt, but he's a fucking good photographer. So maybe
is that on his business card?
I made his business cards.
He might be a cunt, but he's a fucking good photographer.
I can say that because he's my friend, the cunt. Yeah, no, maybe. Sorry, we're just doing personal fucking chat on the stream. No wonder everyone's so thrilled. Yes. Anyway. Face off.
Face off. Here they come. Things are happening.
They're going to do a sex.
No. There's kissing.
Hand kissing.
Uh-oh. This is going to be bad. I can't remember that actor's name.
You're going to see his bum, and it's going to be Nicolas Cage's bum.
It's going to be bright cherry red with a little beard.
Horns.
And of course, they can't have glasses, but it could have a monocle.
Over the one brown eye, presumably, just wedged down.
Like Mr. Monopoly.
Central.
Yeah.
She managed to extract blood from him whilst he slept.
Well, wow. Whole blood. Semi-blood and fully pasteurized blood. Who is that actor? What have I seen her in? Because I know her.
Yes, I agree. Let's find out.
She's done lots.
Oh, yeah, no, she was in the Bourne movies and stuff. What's her name?
Joan Allen.
Joan Allen.
Yes.
Thank you.
Joan Allen from Room. Death. She's the prison warden in the remake of Death Race.
Yeah,
the Paul Anderson
24
one.
as well. Someone's saying
24.
She wasn't in 24.
You're wrong. Yeah, I sit.
Wrong, right back. You're wrong.
She's in The Notebook.
That's gunfire.
She's in Pleasantville. Frasier. Nixon.
Oh, I like Pleasantville.
I've still never seen Pleasantville, and I really should. She's in Manhunt.
Was it not available on the ferry to France?
It was like you can again, and I was told I can never watch it again, and my bum would be harvested for Hollywood.
Well, it will be torn off by orangutans.
Orangutans.
Orangutan
plural. Yeah, orangutans tear each other's bums off in the wild. Do you know it's because baboons come into their territory so much they tear their bums off, their big red bums.
Well, see, orangutans has to be two because they don't get any purchase to take both off at the same time.
Right.
It has to go in different directions. like when you're pulling the wishbone on a turkey.
I imagine it stretches out like a big elastic band as well before it finally gives.
Just until and then the monocle just drops right out. There's no...
Whenever you see an orangutan with the monocle, that's where it's come from.
You know where it's got it from. That's when you ever see a chimp with a Prince Albert. You know where you got that from.
Chimp with a Prince Albert. Vin Diesel's Prince Albert. It famously has a large jewel in it. It's got a huge diamond.
It's having to carry it with both hands.
Constantly out of breath, but then the chimp gets really hench.
Yeah, it's like an Admiral Patton anchor. So heavy.
Really classing the place up.
You're welcome.
Yeah, man, thank you very much. Ian McGar raises a good point. Wouldn't they also have to change all their teeth? Did we see them resculpting the teeth in the kind of dentures?
That's really funny.
Yeah, I mean, you would think in order to fool his wife.
I like the idea.
You'd have to be pretty detailed.
I would have insisted on a detail where it shows that one of them has an innie belly button and one has an outie belly button, and they have to do like innie outie reversal.
Because they do that thing. They do the thing of the scar, obviously, in his chest from where he got shot. And that's the thing at the end is like, oh, I won't be needing that anymore. And I felt like the surgeon should just go, all right, anything else I can do for you?
You're a longer cock, for fuck's sake.
Longer.
Longer, just longer. Well, that's the point, isn't it? Really, unless it's just like a pencil, and he just wants. It's this kind of noodle. I want it to be. I want it to be 4 meters long, but it's still noodle sized.
Don't worry, Mr. Jackson. We have a specialist that wheel a chimp in like for you. Don't worry about it.
Does it with his teeth. Just like
get longer.
Uses it as a skipping rope.
Pulls it like taffy.
Like tap. I thought you said like tapping.
Maybe you shouldn't be penising here.
Tiffin. I mean, what did I
tapping.
Say? I don't know. Sorry, Tiffin.
It's any
Tiffin, isn't it? Tiffin you pull or whatever.
Taffy. Pull it like taffy. Nice.
When you're a Welshman, it has different connotations.
Yeah.
Stretch that taffy's taffy. Has noodle wally. I don't know why I did it in that voice.
I don't know. Do they change their nipples?
I think
too?
so. They swap them. They see it. They swap them.
Nipple off.
The threequel to bum off.
Excellent. This is
Gooch
great.
off.
Oh God. Do you know what I once did? I'm gonna digress here. I once did
because we haven't digressed at all yet.
Have I told you this story before? I hope I haven't. If I have, I'm sorry. I was once working for a company that does like murder mysteries, but in a suitcase. And what you do is you take them to a pub or wherever they're having their party, and you introduce yourself, and then you have all of these items in this suitcase, and say someone's been murdered. And it was at the airport, and this is what's in their suitcase. And
probably with a bit more gravitas behind it.
Oh, this is literally
acting.
Someone's been
it's at the airport or whatever.
Hang on. Someone's been at the airport. Is that better?
That's so much better.
Nailed.
So much better.
Someone's been
at the airport.
And you go to these different places, and it's really fun, a really good thing. And they work it out, and they win prizes.
That does sound
kind of
cool.
blah.
That sounds
The
cool.
first time I did it, I went. There was this room of the pub that had been hired out, and it was a hen party. And I went, okay, great. And they were all like work for this posh bank. I was like, okay. And I introduced myself. A few of them had been a bit drunk, and I was right in the middle of doing the introduction. And then one of them went, "Show us your gooch."
Your gooch, straight to the goods, straight to the and what? Okay.
And I just said,
do you think they knew what that meant?
I just said, look, if I can't see it, I'm not letting you see it.
You have no idea.
That would require some sort of gymnastics and tucking.
Gymnastics and tucking.
Oh, it's just some inversions, a double inversion, I think. Maybe.
Right.
It could be.
Show us your gooch. I imagine you've a delightfully kempt gooch, Mike.
Oh well, it's I oil it.
Oil it with same oil, innit? Save yourself.
Yeah, same oil. It's actually yes. Oh, sorry. I just grossed myself out. That's fine.
That's fine.
So yes,
Let's carry on. Yeah.
That's all right. I've been shamed by my own conscience.
That
doesn't happen often.
Quite rare on this channel to be shamed by one's own conscience.
Yes. The gooch. So there you go. The gooch off is maybe that'll be the TV series.
Right. Adds up. Yeah.
Turner and Gooch.
There is a rebooted Turner and Gooch, I want to say.
It's a show.
It's a show.
On,
Was it on Disney Plus or
right.
something? It was just like...
Is it called Turner and Gooch?
It's about a man and a gooch with little arms and legs like a Poddington pea.
he's a police gooch, you see.
He's a
your
police
Poddington
gooch.
A trained police gooch.
See,
G9 unit.
this was... we felt, before the term gooch came along and from America, when that came from America... And polluted the waters. Me and my friends.
Taint, I thought.
Well, taint and gooch, because to us it was always Bass, and we thought Bass was the funniest.
What's a Bass?
Bass, because it's between your balls and your ass. It's a Bass.
That's just a
It's a portmanteau. Yeah, because it's between your balls and your ass.
The Bass is something I catch when I go into town.
The Bass. Smells of vinegar on the Bass.
There's two decks.
It was a Bass.
Good on the number one bar.
Number one.
The Bass was better, but then Viz, good old Viz, if you looked up Bass, had the alternative Stinkers Bridge.
Yeah, Dirty Bridge.
Dirty Bridge.
Yeah.
So we used to call. We had it was the trend at the time for everybody to make their own Jackass knockoff because they had a camcorder, which we did, and ours was of course called Bass, and we made loads of little idents that said Bass on them. And sometimes we'd say, Dan Lyles says, "I call it the Fury Road." Oh God!
I think I probably call mine the Furry Road.
Nice. Gooch, of course. Gooch is a surname here. So you quite often see vans and stuff that say Gooch on them, and it's like, oh no.
my Scottish mate called it the Grendel.
The Grendel. Wasn't that the baddie
From Beowulf? Yeah, it's got that Norse poetry vibe. It really classes the whole thing up. Actually, do you know what this reminds me of?
It's got
Norse epic poetry. That's
Dubs here, guys. We should probably mark this moment.
Yes.
Yeah, is this? I suppose this is the kind of. I mean, you could, in a very, very loose sort of way. It's got that element of usurped, usurped thrones and stuff like that. It's kind of like he's. I guess it's like Hamlet, or in that you've got
Pretender to the Throne.
Are we still talking about Gucci?
Yes, we are. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, in a roundabout way.
Okay.
But I mean, you know what I mean. Like, I suppose if you wanted to see it, it's a sort of modern retelling of that kind of thing. But again.
Yeah. Well, again, and look, John Woo loves the thing of people that live inside the kind of underworld and overworld, and that's something a running thing in his movies. That happens a lot. At least
does that mean he's going to be making? Is he going to be making the Wombles at some point then?
Uncle Bulgaria with twin Berettas jumping through the air.
With the borrowers.
We did once. Oh God, I'll digress. The kind of things that we used to come up with when we were stoned and then laugh about forever was Firstly, we had this kind of thing where you would harvest borrowers for food. And one of the things you would make a kind of a bag of crisps, but they're like individual pork scratchings made out of borrowers' gooches, which that's Mike with the spit take. And it's just one of those things we come up with when we were high, when we were like 17, and just laughed about for about a year and then forgot about. And when you say borrowers,
I'm going to say a borrower's gooch is going to be
very small though. I mean, very small.
Maybe that, like, I didn't know, Sugar Puffs could be a borrower's gooch.
They have
Cocoa Puffs.
Sugar Puffs have that little kind of black pop seed in the middle as well.
And they got that. And they got the kind of, yeasty.
They do cause the aromaturia phenomena of making your pee smell of them as well. That's the other thing. Much like asparagus. Borrowers gooches, everybody. It's
Borrowers gooches. It sounds like in Midsummer Murders when they have to go to different hamlets.
Borrowers gooch.
Welcome to Borrower's Gooch.
There's not been a murder in Borrower's Gooch for 47 years.
That's right.
I just did a bit of hot fuzz there.
You're a Farmer Fiddler's
Farmer Fiddler.
That's
He's fiddling his gooch.
Borrower's Gooch.
That's a little village with a cheese shop and a haberdashery.
What was that? What was that? Was it Cobbler's Knob? What's that in?
England, probably. There's definitely somewhere called Cobbler's Knob.
Yeah, Somerset, I think.
There's a movie with some Cobbler's Knob. Cobbler's knob.
some cobbler's knob.
I'm just saying cobbler's knob over and over.
Sounds
now.
like something that would be in Hot Fuzz or something like that. Isn't it?
Well, Hot Fuzz is a really good thing to bring up because Edgar Wright does the John Woo thing perfectly. So nicely, because it's not just that, it's it's Michael Mann and it's Tony Scott and Michael Bay, but he does all the John Woo gunplay perfectly, but it's with a bunch of kind of West Country farmers and their mums, which is great. So clever.
Yeah,
because there's the line, everyone's packing farmers around, everyone's packing around here, farmers and farmers' mums, and then the really old farmer's mum is there at the end with a shotgun. It's great. They do those great tee-ups in those movies. But yeah, so again, the way that action's covered is great, and there's all these little inserts of the kind of pyrotechnics going off. It just really sells what's kind of going on in the scene. It's something he's so good at. I also feel like it's too long. It's 2 hours 20.
It is too long.
Hard Target.
2 hours 20 is long.
Hard Target's like an hour 35. Like Hard Target is brilliant.
What
just
you
like
want.
click, and off it goes.
Tight movie.
Tight movie.
I like. I'm a big fan of Lance Henriksen, and in Hard Target, I think he's fantastic in that.
I could go to my grave saying I
mate.
worked with Lance Henriksen. Yes.
Your mate.
Yeah. He was he was on the Freddy doc, so I lensed him for the afternoon. Yes.
You and held hands.
It was when we did the photos. Yeah. When we did the photos, he did a weird different thing for everybody, and as Gary said to me, so I seem to always get the good photos. People seem to do the weird thing with me, which is great, I guess. Oh. And I went up behind that section to get my pick, and he just kind of goes like, "Take my hand, kid," and just grabbed my hand, and then it's like, and then take the photo. He's really lovely, chatty. Like I wasn't nervous to meet many people on that shoot, but he's the one. I heard his voice from downstairs. I go, "Oh my god, Lance Henriksen's coming downstairs."
I mean, you can't mistake that voice.
Amazing, yeah. Just the other one who I heard from the next room, same studio, was Tony Todd.
I was going to say that.
The baritone. Yeah.
I mean, it's because your stomach would start like trembling, like there's a plane going over.
It's Kern. Kern's next door, Mike, or grown-up Jake Sisko. Which, bless him, I had a chat to him about that episode afterwards. I said to him, "You're my favourite Star Trek episode. It's The Visitor from DS9," and he was like, "Oh, it's my favourite too, actually." And here's why. Went on my family and stuff. I said, he
was great. I liked him as Ben in the remake of Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, I did a video. Duncan and I did a video about that.
Did you?
We filmed in the local graveyard. Duncan very, very capably DOP'd for that. So we did a black and white 4x3 links with me in the graveyard. We were great shots from Night of the Living Dead. Duncan recorded sound as well, actually. Bless him. I dragged him off to fucking the graveyard. We filmed it, and I didn't finish it for another 2 years. I mean, just circumstances. But it went there very well when we released it last Halloween, right? We released that last Halloween.
Oh, I'll have to check that out. I'll have to come and have a look.
It's called Nights of the Living Dead.
Yes, yeah, because originally it was going to look at the John Russo. John Russo did his kind of George Lucas style special edition of Night of the Living Dead. The idea was to look at that and then look at this, but I didn't have time for that the way things panned out, so I just did that because I'm a huge fan of the Savini version, and I think Tony Todd is amazing in it as Ben.
And I like the reasons they made that movie as well, which I think is really great. So they could make some money out of it.
Yeah, finally get a bit of comeback on the thing they created. Tony Todd did have a friendship with Dwayne Jones before he died. Yeah,
really?
They know each other. Not particularly well, but they knew each other.
He was great in that movie. He's fucking brilliant. Dwayne Jones is awesome.
Well, Tony Todd is in The Rock.
Let's forget.
Yes, he is.
Also, he was in 24. Not your Joan Allen's, but definitely
Tony Todd's.
Yeah, no, Tony Todd's fucking amazing. Like, he's great in The Rock. It's like, I want my fucking money.
He gave I'm pretty sure his fee for our film went straight to whichever charity he supports. It wasn't for him. It went straight. He negotiated a fee for his agent, and it was like, "Well, it's not for me. I'm giving it to such and such a thing." It's very nice. It's really sweet. Like I was like, "Okay, don't talk about Star Trek. Don't talk about Star Trek. Don't talk about Star Trek." And then because he came off so nicely during his interview, I literally stopped the camera, stopped the sound, and was just like, "Hey, this is my favorite Star Trek episode." Then he sat and talked to me about it. I got a picture with him, man. He's like fucking 6'7" or something. He's an enormous guy. He's huge, dude.
But he seems like such a sweetheart. Like, because I did listen to a bunch of interviews he did, and he seemed like such a just like decent bloke. You know?
Yeah, he was...
but like very aware of kind of his type of, you know, like his presence and stuff like that. I think he's someone who's like, he knows how to use everything he's got really well on camera.
They, I believe they improvised this boat chase.
That's right, yeah. So basically...
we're talking over the improv boat chase.
John Woo personally shot all of those police officers because it was cheaper that way. Because then John Woo volunteered to be executed by the state of California for his part in all these murders just so they could get the film done.
Well, I mean, this boat chase, it's based on an acting game. Have you ever seen Whose Line Is It Anyway? They just say, has anyone got a couple of boats?
Yes.
Can I have a couple of boats from the audience, please?
Well...
And then they'll improvise a chase scene around the studio.
That's why Greg Proops fell out with Clive Anderson, isn't it? Because he insisted on ramming a boat through his face every week. And it's just,
That's right. And he just got fed up with it.
Chimp tore off his cock and balls.
Vin Diesel's chimp.
It was a classic episode.
To be fair, you know, and they never...
Great.
As much as I like the American version with Drew Carey, they never quite recreated that cock-ripping boat chase energy that the British version had.
No, well, it's the whole chimp union thing. They just won't have them on. It's they're not in the union, so...
Great apes are very, very highly proportionally represented by unions in the United States, which doesn't really exist here. Yeah. Monkeys, not so much. They don't seem to have that same track, but apes have a very strong union, going all the way back.
They're too busy throwing their own shit around. That's why there's the monkeys. That's it. You don't want to. Those guys are rubbish.
They're tugging on their cocks instead of tugging them off other people, and that's no good. You don't need that. You don't get anything done. Why is that silence? Why did that silence? That silence.
Eyebrow.
Yeah.
Eyebrow
Poor
stuff.
Old Duncan's having the worst stream of his life. Just like, what's going on?
I'm really done today. I don't want to obviously I don't want to say live on air, but I had a bit of a
to-do
emergency thing to deal with today, and I think what's happened is my adrenaline sort of just shut off, and now I'm like, So apologies if I'm not on top.
Fair play. You still we don't mind you fucking. You're still here, aren't you? That's the point. I think yes.
Yeah.
Urea, like in urine. Urine.
Like we
fucking urine.
Urea, like a bum.
Rhea Perlman. Urea Perlman.
Rhea Perlman. She's got to be in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's the bum surgeon.
She's the sassy
bum surgeon / barmaid.
You call that a butt?
Bum. We're using bum.
Bum. Yeah, that's right. Bum. It's a distinctive Anglo flavour.
Exactly. Yeah. Transatlantic.
Sarah Millican is the on-call oncologist.
It's Rhea Perlman and Sarah Millican.
Proctologist. Wow, where'd you got your boom,
I changed it back for you.
Cake. That's the joke. I like cake.
Look at this. This is nuts. This is insane.
What's happening here? Why are they doing this? And are those real stuntmen? Are they dead now?
Exactly. All the people that died for this film. They improvised flying out of the boat.
They improvised that explosion.
John Travolta just improvised having a harpoon gun and shot it from Nick Cage's chest or whatever. Yeah, no, you can't fault the choreography in it. Like the filmmaking in this is superb. Like, there's no question. There's not even a discussion. I think it's brilliantly edited and shot and staged and everything else. But I just think it's a bit too long.
I mean, this is around the sort of same time as Mission Impossible 2 and stuff, isn't it, as well? So it's very much like
Mission Impossible Woo. That was a weird choice for John Woo.
That ended on a beach as well.
Yeah, he likes these kind of showdowns because the one in Hard Target where Van Damme puts the grenade in Lance Henriksen's trousers.
He's suddenly comically sized
pantaloons. Oh God.
It was the 90s.
There's a lot of pantaloons. It was coming off the back of that MC Hammer trend,
He is an exceptional opponent. Whatever.
MC Hammer.
MC. You can't touch that. I mean, I know that's not the name of the song.
It's just words to live by.
But just don't touch it.
Talk about Borrower's Gooch.
Borrower's Gooch.
Oh, I had lovely ale ale in a pie at the pub down at Borrower's Gooch.
Don't get many strangers at Borrower's Gooch.
Mike, Mike,
not around
you would
from around here, are you?
absolutely be the dude in Borrower's Gooch. I'm sorry, you would be the dude waiting there and say, "You don't get."
Have you had lunch at the Dog and Hare?
There's do you always have that pipe there? I mean,
Well, you from Borrower's Gooch, are you?
Boyle.
oh, we've just rented the Airbnb at the old Abbey.
Be from Borrower's Gooch. I'm just going to light my pipe. Hang on a minute.
This better have bubbles in it, or I'm going to be really fucked off.
So, you're from Borrower's Gooch.
Doing fucking prop work, the whole bloody thing.
Improvised.
Improvised. Did you know? In the Face Off live stream where Mike Geary has 2 pipes, that was improvised. Pipe off.
Aye, we don't know that. I think Borrower's Gooch. We gotta get that into something.
Quite like the.
Gotta get a
I
Borrower's
do
Gooch
have
into something.
I have a like we're reaching the final stages of the current short, and
Can you do a cutaway for it? You know, when you're doing a cutaway to all the newspaper clippings, and one just says 10 dead in Borrower's.
the thing is, I did
10 bodies found in Borrower's.
Duncan's seen it, but I spent a lot of yesterday doing digital sign replacement for our scene setting. So I had to change. I shot the outside of the museum, and I had to take away the COVID-19 sign and change it to a Jupiter sign. Then I shot the real location sign for the computer museum. I changed it to our fictitious museum. Changed the place name, and I had to change the railway signs because they all represented Cambridge and they had phone numbers on them. Which I spent a fair bit for the establishing stuff to establish the fiction of our film. And I just now sort of I know I spent quite a lot of time on that, but I could try and find a place to put Borrower's Gooch in there. Because did you know about Foxy Flingo that's now in the film because of a live stream?
No.
I've said this a million times. Dan Lyles has a story that a kid at school told him that there was a special episode of Record Breakers, I'm going to run through it, where Jeff Capes had to throw a fox to France, and when the fox landed in France, they couldn't televise the episode because the fox was determined by the French authorities to have rabies. Right? I've said that as criticism. It's the most amazing story in the world. We talked about it on a different live stream. Dan ended up doing a game box for it that said Foxy Flingo, which is a picture of Jeff Capes throwing a fox. It's incredible. So I found Jeff Capes Strongman for the ZX Spectrum. I went into Adobe Premiere and I doctored it to make it so Jeff Capes is throwing a fox and it has a rabies meter on the bottom, and there's one shot in the film at the end of the movie when all the computers turn on and there's a ZX Spectrum playing Jeff Capes' Foxy Flingo.
Foxy Flingo.
So that is now that willed itself into existence because of the live stream, and we got off that stream and I went straight into Premiere and I found the clips and everything. And now I'm like, well, where do I put Borrower's Gooch? Because the thing is, Duncan, it'd be a Russian newspaper. Borrower's Goochevich.
I think we could maybe save it for the next movie. Maybe that's where the kids who have to guide the person through the nightmare warehouse. That's where they're from. They're on a school trip from Borrower's Gooch.
I have a concept for another film, which someone else wants to write for us to do, which I'm quite interested in. Which I would like to put both of you in, obviously, because Duncan will inevitably be producing it. And also Mike, because you're amazing and brilliant, and Duncan, because you're amazing and brilliant. But
I'm also always available. That's my best asset.
Where there's a travel lodge, there's a mic. That lends itself to Borrower's Gooch quite neatly. The next concept,
Mr. Geary, your usual
seat.
Thank you.
Next to the vending machine, as you asked.
Will you be wanting Wi-Fi?
Would you like the usual shit streaks on the inside? Why, yes. Thank you, Andre.
Andre. Mike, you had a view of the Cambridge Technology Museum chimney as once scaled by the great Fred Dibner.
I did. Yeah. I did. Mm-hmm. I did. The Dibner.
The Dibner suite.
Thank you very much. How many pubes will be requiring on your pillow? I'll have 3.
3.
The full English.
The full English.
It really doesn't matter as long as they are. It's as long as it's an even number.
An even number. I have a system.
I hope that Andre says "very good, sir" when he very good, sir.
Yeah, of course. Oh, it's like it's like the it's the Continental in John Wick, except really shit, and there's no guns.
Except it's a travel lodge on the corner of Newmarket Road in Cambridge.
They insist that people fight on the ground.
Right. Yes. Yeah. The rules of the house.
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 Excommunicado.
Ian
The
McShane
house
running
are-
a travel lodge.
The only rule is please don't put your spray
Wait, hold
tan
on.
on in the bathroom.
That says Burke Hicks, Thomas Jane.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
To the IMDb. I must go to the IMDb and verify.
Thomas Jane. Oh, I like him
He's
very
cool.
much.
He was a very
Have
cool
you,
Punisher.
He's just good in everything. Have you guys done Deep Blue Sea?
In a different form.
yeah.
In a different form.
Oh,
we
yes.
did. Yeah.
different form.
Yeah.
I like that
Yeah,
film.
I loved it. I've got loads of time. I saw that in the
cinema.
cinema, like opening night. I've got very fun because the bit with Samuel L. Jackson, like genuinely no one expected it on the night, and it was just like, what the
Brilliant.
fuck? And it was the same summer Star Wars come out, and we'd all seen Pulp Fiction just a few years before. And Sam was like, no, it's really dumb, but in a kind of knowing, fun way. It knows what it's doing, and you know.
It's just
I
got
remember
lots
people
of great
calling
stuff
it
in
Jaws 5. For a
I
long time,
never
but
got
wasn't-
that.
People genuinely
It's just like,
thought that
what
was
are you?
what-
Why? Because it's got sharks in it. Like, oh, all right,
Yeah.
fine, then.
It's a super enjoyable film though. It's got a lot of. It's one of my favourite shark movies. In
Bags of
that's
fun.
been-
Yeah,
has
it is
been made.
bags of fun. Bags of fun.
Yeah.
I know because originally Thomas Jane was going to die and Saffron Burrows was going to survive, but test audiences didn't like her, so they switcherooed it, which is
Believable. That's so bad.
but bless her, like fucking hell.
She wasn't doing. She was doing it perfectly.
Yeah, it's totally
She's great.
fine. This is the thing. This is the world of fucking test audience. What is it? Ralph Brown says that on the Alien 3 extras. He goes like, they showed it to a test audience of brain dead Californian teenagers, and it's like, yeah, okay, that kind of like, and there's too many bald British guys in it, or whatever.
I mean, there are a lot.
Yeah, but that's part of its
true.
charm.
That is
Yes.
sort of the.
Hey, you know,
It's a smorgasbord.
the bald British guy.
Mr. Clement.
The bald British guy who gets the shortest shrift is Paul McGann, who had all that really good stuff cut out, like in the assembly cut. He has so much more
great.
to do. He's really fucking good in that.
Paul McGann came up in a conversation earlier today with someone who shall not be named.
Yeah.
Although you
Voldemort.
already know who I've been talking to. today.
Voldemort.
Yes, no, I was talking to Ray Fiennes, and
Yeah.
no, but yeah, Paul McGann came up in a conversation, as did Cole Meany.
Ah, that's two. You got a
That's
Doctor
really
Who, and you
cool.
got an O'Brien, right there.
That's a
It is a
twofer.
twofer.
That is a twofer right
It's a
there.
double,
yeah.
double.
Yeah, very cool people. I love it. And Paul McGann. My friend Craig went to drama school with Paul McGann. Spoke very highly
He's
of
supposed to be the fucking nicest guy. He's supposed to be great to work with and a top dude. I would love to work with him or something. He's so cool, man. He's so
He's a
cool.
phenomenal actor.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's
Yeah.
amazing. Very humble dude as well. So Scousers for you.
him.
There you go.
Yeah, Stephen Graham though, he's a fucking cunt.
Oh.
No, he's not. I've voted.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a top. Just to be clear, he's supposed to be a
I'm
top
just
guy
joking.
as well.
I've just been.
That was the next Scouser on the shelf, wasn't it? It's,
He's coming for you now.
he's coming
Yeah.
for you.
I may be lovely, but I don't like the seaweed.
Weird.
Oh.
I'm gonna drive me mate to where you work, you bitch.
Don't share.
I don't like it when you twig.
And so on. Well, ladles and jelly spoons. I think get another 10 Earth minutes and we'll wrap up. I think Duncan needs his bed.
I'm sorry, I can always go.
No.
You two can
You
Traveller's gooching it up.
it up. No.
I'm useless to both man and.
Oh, I
beast.
want to say. So Michael and Annalise have their own. They're doing gaming streams now, and
have their own bum.
they're doing their own bum off.
Ah.
And after the watch party stream, private watch party stream of the day, I went and checked out their stream for a wee bit, and I put it on our social and stuff, and they're good fun. They were playing Wipeout, and I think they might play Wipeout again. So if you look in the chat, you can click through to that channel and follow them to their stream. So there you go. There you go. Oh my god. Yeah, I've taken to. I'm probably going to go to the gym after this because I've joined a gym and I do these kind of serial killer Travis Bickle gym sessions late at night, and it's really working for me. I quite like it. It's because there's other people there.
That's why I have to get to bed, because I have to get up at 10 to 6 in order to go to the gym if I want to go to the gym at all.
Why? Why would you?
Because that's it. Like my gym opens at 6:30, which means I have to get in there for then, and then I get an hour. And then I have to come back because I have to be back in time to help with getting baby up, and then I got to start work at 9.
Meanwhile,
So,
I'm doing cable crossovers like a man who's helping the police with their inquiries. Eric Granlund gives 50 Swedish krona. Thank you very much, Eric. A future theme for a Patreon poll could be 1996 First Contact movies like ID4, Mars Attacks, and Star Trek First Contact. That's a good idea. That's a very good. That is an odd trilogy of.
I was lucky enough to be on the set of Star Trek First Contact for an
I remember
evening.
you saying, I think everyone's going to want to hear about that, man. If you don't mind telling it.
No, well, I didn't really do much, but I sat around and watched people film, and it was very
part
exciting.
of Star Trek history, mate.
Very, very cold as well.
Best TNG film.
I
I'm not mad about the TNG movies, but that's the best one, in my view.
Yeah, there's lots of good stuff in
This is how Duncan dies.
Yeah.
Look at the life training from him. Bless him.
Which one is that?
That's the Borg one, where they fight the Borg. The Borg come to Earth and they go back in time. And then a really loud motorbike goes past.
And then
Patrick Stewart on a motorbike goes past.
Make it sound.
I'm going to ride my bike.
I'm Patrick Stewart. It's Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen it. I've seen bits of it. I think maybe, probably, whatever. Get off.
I just always remember watching the first 2 or 3 scenes when they went, "Come on, Commander Hawk." You went, "Who's that?" Oh, okay.
All right then.
But yeah, it's ridiculous. That's Neil McDonough, isn't it? I think
it is Neil McDonough. It is, yeah. Strange kind of early turn, and doesn't he get he gets sort of like executed later on when he's kind of
so quickly.
So
I think he dies very, very quickly. It's ridiculous. But yeah, it's a good.
Neil McDonough's fucking cool, man. He's done some shite like that second Street Fighter movie and various other things. But he's cool, man. Like he was he's Dum Dum Duggan in Captain America and stuff. He's really cool.
I really enjoy the movie Ravenous.
Oh fuck yeah, film. Ravenous is cool, man. Bobby Carlyle.
Yeah, lots of good stuff. Guy Pearce, it's all good stuff.
Fucking cool. Did we talk about? Oh yeah, we talked about Lockout, didn't we, last time we were together, because it's Escape from New York stuff. Yeah, just Guy Pearce. Guy Pearce is fucking cool, man. I really like him.
He's smashing.
Yeah, he's done a lot of cool stuff as well. I kind of like the sort of slightly geeky choices he's done. But then you look at things like Memento and other stuff, and like fucking Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, he's so fucking good. So basically, why aren't you two Guy Pearce?
Oh, I'm tired.
I'm just so tired. So
Can't be
tired.
bothered. Yeah, it's like hard work.
Yeah,
I have hay fever.
My allergies. Yeah.
I have hay fever. Yeah. I also just had my arse swapped, and that's a long time. It takes
it's quite a common
time.
procedure among men now.
It happens quite a lot. In fact, it was Duncan and I have swapped asses. That's why he's so tired.
Right.
It's really taking it out of him.
I'm so sat on Mike's ass right now. You need to borrow it.
It's not easy, is it? You thought you could handle it.
Were you borrowing it for a roll? Is it for a roll? You need Duncan's ass.
It's like going from an electric scooter to a Harley.
He's not licensed for it. He's not licensed for an arse of that magnitude.
He can't handle my hog.
Or Vin Diesel's hog, for that matter. It's quite a hog.
We went to the Belgravia Institute.
Yes,
it's that hospital. Is that near Borrower's Gooch?
It is, yeah. That's people. It's like the Seven Sisters in London. There's the Seven Sisters in Sussex. You mustn't confuse Borrower's Gooch with the Borrower's Gooch tube station, which is near Belgravia.
No, it's not. You would feel very.
It's on the
silly.
Jubilee line, so it's one of those ones you use less, but it's there. Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
London Bants.
A very deep.
It's a very deep and quite pungent.
Yes.
Badly lit.
All of the bridges are quite dirty.
I didn't think you could have brown lighting gels, but it turns out you can. I think it's possible to create brown light.
Well, there was a lot of smoke down there.
It's true. You can scrape that nicotine off with a butter knife.
Really can.
Oh, hold on.
They're all down there with their cream and.
Sam Tuxbury is saying we should wish Omar well, for he's not feeling very good. So I wish you well, Omar. I hope you're well. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, get well.
And Eric, to
Feel
go
better.
back to your point, that is a very good suggestion. That's a good trio of things. And Duncan and I did Mars Attacks as an episode once, and we did talk about the year of alien invasion movies. And Mars Attacks, even though they came out, around the same time, Mars Attacks is the piss take ID4. The fact that existed in the same year is so brilliant. And I love Mars. It's probably one. I'm not a huge Tim Burton fan, but that's a film that I really, really rate. I really love Mars Attacks.
Any science fiction film that has Tom Jones in it is a winner, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
Is that the only?
Yes. Also, yes. Yeah, it's such a fucking
It's
weird.
fine.
Mate, Pierce Brosnan smoking a pipe and having his head stitched onto a dog. So there you go. Yeah, it's fucking
That's my
great.
pipe.
It's so cool. Also, as I said I think my exact phrasing was the great thing about the Mars Attacks aliens is their motivation is that they're just cunts. Like there's no agenda.
really are.
They're just doing it for a laugh. They're just cunts. Like there's no.
Yeah.
Because there's that bit where they're trying to knock not Nelson's column, whatever
the Washington Monument.
Washington Monument. That's it. Yeah, trying to knock it on the school kids. Or
And
whatever.
they keep running back and forth.
And they're so gleeful in what they do as
They
well.
are
It's
the worst.
so good.
They are the very, very worst. I love them.
Michael J. Fox getting turned into a skeleton, and Jack Black gets turned into a skeleton. Natalie Portman's in there.
Yeah, a lot of people get changed into skeletons.
You can
in
be
this
a green
one.
skeleton or a red skeleton.
Oh, I think I'll have Red Skellington. He was one of my favourite actors.
Red skeleton.
Red Skellington.
Yeah, I like Red skeleton. He was in the American version of Steptoe and Son.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he's the dad in that.
Okay. Was that what was that called?
Stanford and Son. Stanford and Skellington. Sanford and Skellington is what it's called. Yeah,
I see.
It's reviving an ancient Val Verde meme about skeletons. It was beloved. There we go. Skeleton references. Ian McGarr reminds us that of his project In Search of the Last Action Skeletons, which he made a trailer for that was amazing. He had a T-800 action figure that he'd interviewed and stuff. It was fucking genius. We were absolutely we were rolling at that, Ian. It was the funniest fucking thing. Oh, Joe Don Baker, of course, he's in Mars Attacks as well.
Yeah.
Isn't he? Yeah.
Love Joe Don Baker.
Yeah, great shout. That was who reminded of that? Colin McLean says that. He says do it. I don't know why I'm doing that. Right, I think we must wrap up, but with our best of love to Omar, who's
Yes,
absolutely.
feeling so good. So
Hope
yeah,
you're
take
all
care of
right,
yourself, Omar.
Yes, take care.
Yeah, we're going to come back. Beef Skellington, says Joseph. I can't get sucked into the skeleton talks. I'll be here all night.
Sucked.
Urine. All right, Ian. Oh yeah, Ian. You can link it, please. I'm going to throw to credits, but chuck the link up now, mate. Please do. And just share it again, 'cause it's fucking brilliant. We're going to watch The Procedure together, which I promise is so quick, Duncan. You're going to love it. All right, cool. Well, we'll get ready to credits. We love you, and we'll be back next week with more bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks for having me.